This is Darren DePaul. You may or may not know me as a voice in some video games you may or may not be playing. And right now, you may or may not be listening to The Gaming Outsider. Roll the theme song. There may or may not be a theme song.
Hey there, Gaming Outsiders. On this week's episode, it's just Zack and I, and we're taking a deep dive into everything that went down during the Game Awards this week, including all the reveals and winners. In news, the GTA 6 trailer released shortly after last week's episode. Sure, we're late to the party, but you'll hear what we thought of it. Also, Mark Szymanski stops by to tell us about the demo for a game called Luto, as well as a crazy-looking gear-gated game called Fearmonium. This is the Gaming Outsider. This episode of The Gaming Outsider is brought to you by eWin Racing, the home of the best heavy-duty gaming chairs. I can tell you from personal experience that I've never sat in a more comfortable chair at my desk. eWin Racing has chairs for gamers of all sizes, too. As a Gaming Outsider listener, you can get 20% off your purchase using our promo code TGO at ewinracing.com. eWin Racing, the best gaming chairs out there. Greetings, programs, and welcome to The Gaming Outsider, a video game podcast with a focus on our incredible community, which can be found at thegamingoutsider.com. We also have a community at facebook.com/groups/thegocast, and even a Discord server, and you can find a link for that in the show notes for this very episode. It is Sunday, December 9th or 10th. I had to double check. I feel really bad right now. It is December 10th. I'm your host, Scott Clark, and joining me is my good friend, Mr. Zack Parkerson. What's up, Zack?
Hey, Scott, how's it going? You know, I don't want to get too far ahead of it, but it's just the two of us. And with this big Game Awards thing, it's a little E3 energy going on here.
It really, oh yeah, dude, that's a really good point.
Yeah.
Last time, most of the time when you and I were doing stuff by ourselves, it was just E3 sitting in the Airbnb, in the barbershop.
Yes, absolutely.
Man, those were the days. If this is your first time here, we usually have two other hosts with us, CB and Alyssa. CB unfortunately had a family gathering that he had to attend to. It is the holiday season after all. And Alyssa, at last minute, was not feeling very well. So, yeah, like Zack said, it is just the two of us.
We can make it if we try.
We can make it if we try. Anyway.
Do you automatically always just think Austin Powers with that song?
I do now, yes.
Yeah,
because wasn't it like originally it was originally a Stevie Wonder song, I believe.
Okay.
Or maybe even Stevie Wonder covered it. But then didn't Will Smith do a version of it or whatever? But then,
oh man, maybe.
But then, yeah, ever since Austin Powers, it's just like Mini-Me and Dr. Evil. That's all I see now.
You and I. Yeah, remember?
You and I. Yep.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Today, as of this recording, is the 30th anniversary of Doom.
Sure.
The original Doom released 30 years ago today.
John Romero is going to make you his...
Yeah. Don't do it.
It's a classic magazine ad, though.
I've
Doom
never
rocks,
actually
man,
played through the original. I was not a PC gamer as a kid, so.
But it was everywhere.
It was on PlayStation eventually, yeah. But I'm talking I mean, yeah. I guess I would have been a teenager when the PlayStation came out.
Wouldn't it have also been wasn't it not on Genesis and Super Nintendo, or am I crazy?
There was a Doom, yeah, because it didn't have a red cartridge.
Yeah,
if I remember correctly, the original Doom.
Then there was Doom 64, but I think that was its own game, actually.
Yeah, it was a separate game. But I think that one is available. Didn't they remake that one or something?
It's ported somewhere, yeah.
Ported, yeah. I don't know, man. Going back to the original Doom, I feel it would be difficult now because there's no up and down aiming, and it would just feel so weird to me. I remember playing it a little bit as a kid, and my gun is pointing straight ahead, but I shot that guy up in the window up there.
Yeah, stuff's the stomach for you.
No, not the stomach. It's just I'm just so I'm so spoiled nowadays with the crazy control schemes that we've got now, where I've got direct control of where I want to aim. You know what I mean? It just feel off.
Doom holds up, still rocks. E1M1, yeah. Great music in the original Doom.
I do remember the.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, let's just have a podcast where we just sing video game theme songs and try to guess what's up.
I'm not opposed. Try to do some sweeping orchestrals thing like an Assassin's Creed score. No one knows what the hell we're doing.
Right, exactly. Someone just listens and they step away from their podcast for a bit. They come back and we're just making random noises.
We're like a guy from Police Academy.
Yeah, I never played 3, and I keep hearing that 3 is one that should be played.
Of what, Assassin's Creed?
No, Doom.
Oh, Doom. Yes, of course. 3's great.
Yeah.
I know you got a bad rap at launch, probably just because it's very not a Doom game.
Yeah, it's more of a horror or is it survival horror? What do you even call it?
I don't know if I would say. I just say like a horror action game. You know, like a Dead Space, where it's not really so focused so much on the ammo count as it is just the tension or something like that.
Gotcha. I still didn't even play. Was it 2019? Is it or 2016? Excuse me.
Really?
I never played through that. I got to like the second or third level, and I just never went back for some reason.
It's incredible.
Yeah, better than Eternal from your review, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, Eternal did not do it for me, but
No.
Doom 2016 sure as hell did. I ripped and teared until it was done.
That soundtrack was pretty.
Yeah, McGordon, man.
Awesome.
Oh my god, yeah.
Anyway, let's jump into what we've been catching up on. How about you, sir?
Well, yeah. Last week I talked about having played Assassin's Creed Mirage. I have beaten Assassin's Creed Mirage.
Nice.
About 15 or 16 hours. So it is the length of a traditional Assassin's Creed.
Mm-hmm.
This game is, it's mystifying. I think I got into its rhythms a little bit more. You know, with the trying to control the wiry RPG character and the stealth game sort of thing. But I managed to wrap my head around it. The assassinations, because last week I talked about how exciting it was that there were so many options, and not all of them are that way. It's only like 2 or 3 of them, really.
Oh, that's a bummer.
And then, but that's fine, because if you think about Assassin's Creed 2 or 3, it was basically like either you could fight everybody or you could follow the one stealth path to kill a guy quietly.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, it's not too far removed from that. So, but it's just the story. I appreciated the idea of this kind of episodic thing where you're investigating a target and learning more about them and how they're affecting Baghdad and stuff, but all of them were pretty boring.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Like, I just couldn't get into it. There was one involving the concubines that was interesting just because it had a neat twist at the end. But the rest of them are basically just like, hey, this warlord's pretty bad, man. He's really killing dudes. And then you do your little investigations, which is a neat idea on paper, but it's always just like, yeah, he did. Yeah, he killed my brother. Oh, yeah, he killed my sister. Oh, yeah, he's just killing people. I'm like, okay, it's just, there's no personality or intrigue to them.
Right.
But I did find it enjoyable. I actually ended up liking that teleporting attack thing I was worried about.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot like Splinter Cell's mark and execute feature.
I remember you saying that last week, yeah.
Yeah, where you kind of have to earn the stealth tokens and then kill people. I still think it's goofy in the context of the universe. So I think they sort of narratively explain it at the end of the game, but also the way this plot begins to wrap up near the end, it is clear that you need to know the story of Valhalla.
I've heard that, and that makes me nervous because I have not played Valhalla.
Yeah, and as I tell you, I always watch all the modern day cutscenes for Assassin's Creed when they come out on YouTube. And so I missed a lot of the Basim stuff from Valhalla because of that. And it's just the way this is wrapping up is like, it is clear they expect me to have information that I do not have about him.
Basim wasn't Valhalla, was it?
Yeah, he was, as it turns out, he was the bad guy of Valhalla.
Oh. Who is the main character in Valhalla?
Ivor,
yeah.
Yeah.
But, okay. So, okay, I'm connecting the dots. Sounds like Basim is the one in Mirage.
Yes, he's a protagonist in Mirage. He's in, I don't know if he's the bad guy, but he's kind of an antagonistic force in Valhalla. And it is just, I had to watch a little recap video of his life afterwards. And I was like, oh yes, if I had this information, the ending would have made a lot more sense.
Gotcha.
But as it is presented in this game, you could, because, as Ubisoft has said publicly, this was originally a DLC for Valhalla. So they were kind of expecting if you were going to play this, you would have known his story, right?
Right.
And then I think breaking it off into a separate release kind of messes that up because you got people like you or me who just want to play a stealthy Assassin's Creed again, but the plot is mystifying without information from Valhalla.
It's kind of like with the Marvel stuff. I mean, I know that's not video game related, but it's frustrating that in order to be able to keep up with stuff, you have to watch the movies and the shows. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and a strong prequel should work on its own, right?
Right. Yeah.
So, I mean, this This does not by the end. And it's still Roshan is still the coolest character by the end of the game.
I would believe that very easily.
She's awesome.
Awesome at the beginning.
Dude, I want a Mirage 2 starring Roshan.
There you go.
That'd be cool. I'm into that.
So, should we expect a Assassin's Creed Mirage review from Mr. Zach Parkerson?
Oh man, it didn't go so well last time I wrote Assassin's Creed review for this website.
That's true.
But I mean, it's better than Odyssey.
Yeah.
Not hard to do. It's so funny because there's just so many systems I just didn't engage with in this game because I just don't care. Like upgrading my tailoring my outfits or upgrading my swords. It was just so funny that there's combat upgrades at all because I'm just like, why wouldn't you just... The stealth hits are one-hit kills.
Right.
And it's the game wants you to be stealthy, so it's just... Why
as long as you can be successfully stealthy.
Right.
You know, that's the catch. Sometimes I mess it up.
Well, they make it pretty easy to recover. If you just kind of kill all the enemies in the immediate area, somehow the rest of the castle doesn't know that you are there.
So it is old school Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, definitely.
I played a bunch more of Pinball M this week.
Have you figured out why it's a separate app yet?
I haven't found it for sure. I'm totally speculating that they got so much flack about Pinball FX in their subscription model and not allowing you to buy it that they just kind of decided to do this side thing.
Yeah.
Because it feels very, very similar to Pinball FX in terms of not necessarily the UI, but just the options that are available to you and the different ways to be able to play pinball instead of just classic mode. You know, all those different ones I talked about last week, like, you know, distance or, you know, limited distance or limited time or just one ball or something like that. And it unlocks all sorts of cool stuff, and you can kind of decorate your pinball room where these tables are. You can actually put different, like, I don't know what you call it, but like the artwork that's on the side of the pinball machines or on the back of the pinball machines, you can actually change those.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of cool. You can actually change the ball, like on the one based on The Thing, the movie The Thing from 1984. One of the ball upgrades I got is that it just leaves a blood trail everywhere that it goes.
Oh, that's
like
awesome.
I thought that was kind of cool. You know, you've got your little like gamer tag thing that's in Pinball M only, not like your one for Xbox, but it's just like attached to Pinball M.
Pinball ID.
Yeah, you get to change like the backdrop and whatever logo you put on there and your title. You know what I mean? Like Pinball Wizard or something like that.
It's like a Call of Duty game where you're customizing your banner.
Yeah. So all that stuff feels very similar to Pinball FX, but Doc Sampson from our community is a big pinball guy, and he and I have been going back and forth. Like I beat all his scores, and then he beat all my scores, and then I beat all his scores. So we were just kind of going back and forth and just letting each other know. That's one thing we were actually discussing in Discord is that we miss from Pinball FX 2, which, you know, not 3, not Pinball FX, but Pinball FX 2. So 2 or 3, you know, generations of what Zen Studios has put together. Like if you beat somebody's score, you could press a button to like ping them a message and be like, "Hey, I beat your score. Now you got to try to beat my score."
So you just ruin their day.
No. And it's not necessarily to like. It's not even to rub it in. It's just to keep the competition flowing.
I didn't mean like in a mean way. It's just in a fun way of, you know.
Oh yeah.
Now they're thinking about their score, and I got to get back in the game.
And I gotta say, it's a little refreshing having just like 5 tables. I know that sounds weird coming from the guy that bought every single table on Pinball FX 2 and 3.
Yeah.
But like one of the things that Pinball FX 2 did is it would give you a little medal on the image for the table to be like, you have the top score of all your friends. And that was my goal, was to go through and try to get medals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I saw a medal was missing, someone had a better score than me, and I would just go and I'd chase it. That doesn't exist in Pinball FX or Pinball FX or Pinball M. So I kind of wish that would come back, and I wish the challenge your friends thing is coming. But I get the impression they're trying to get you to focus on the other aspects of it instead of it just being a leaderboard type of thing. But yeah, it is what it is. So I'm having.
But leaderboard chasing's got to be a big part of the pinball culture, right?
Yeah, I mean it's still there. You know, there's like 3 different leaderboards. There's like just your friends list. There's a global one. You can look for just this week. You know, that kind of stuff is always fun. So there's always something to chase for that week. And there's a leveling up system. I don't really get what it does for me other than gives me tokens to buy more cosmetic stuff. So and that stuff is neat, but it's not why I play. I love the competitive nature of it, with friends. So, and Doc is pretty good at pinball. He beats my scores pretty quickly. It's a situation where, it flashes up on the screen when you've beat somebody else's score. So part of you kind of wants to like stop because you don't want your score to get too big that they look at it and go, I'm not going to get that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you want them.
Or you don't want them to, if you go too hard and then they beat you, you're like, man, I can't do that again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I don't. I always still keep going. I can't just let it drain, to pull a Roger Sharp ism. I just got to do it. But anyway, having fun with that and would love some more competition. Those tables are pretty great too.
But
I'm
I know
enjoying them.
You're addicted to pinball, but what you've really been addicted to the past week is scuba diving, right?
Oh my goodness, dude. I cannot get over how good this game is. Dave the Diver. I think I got to like the end of chapter 1 last week. And I am now towards the end of chapter 3. Yes, there's a story in this. There's actual like stuff going on.
I assume there would be because you start off as a sushi assistant, right? At some point, they got to let you make the sushi.
I haven't even done that. I'm still not making sushi.
Oh man, that's crazy. Maybe I'm wrong.
I mean, I feel like in the trailer I saw some sushi cutting or something.
Well, I think it would
feel like
be,
something's gonna happen.
It'd be like what Chekhov's gun or whatever. If they don't ever let you make the sushi, it's just a betrayal to the audience,
Right? And the funny thing is that the restaurant simulator portion of the game is not overly difficult. Like in Moonlighter, there was a lot going on, a lot of moving parts. I feel like it's not overly difficult, at least yet. There's a lot of moving parts, but it's mostly in depth of like what things you can put on the menu. And I usually just try to do whatever the most expensive thing that I can is. Or they do little fun deals like where they're going to have like a jellyfish festival. Like it's like this big party that's happening on the island. And so if you cook recipes that involve jellyfish, they'll sell for a lot more, because it's in the high demand.
Right, sure.
For the fest.
Everyone wants to eat jellyfish.
Yeah, I didn't know people ate jellyfish, honestly. Also, I'm not a big sushi guy. Everything that I make, that my chef is making, just looks and sounds gross to me. I'm not a.
Oh yeah.
I'm not a.
That's crazy. Sushi's amazing.
I know. It's one of those things that has just missed me. Like I've had it, but I've not just California rolls. I've had eel and tuna and salmon and stuff like that, but I just don't crave it, man.
I've been learning a little bit of Japanese on Duolingo.
Oh yeah.
Do you want to know how you say sushi in Japanese?
Sushi.
Damn, you're good, man.
Yeah. No, but the game, it just keeps going and going. And remember how I told you there's like these cutscenes, like these pixelated cutscenes that are sometimes like 10 or 15 seconds? A lot of these are used just once. Like, I mean, there was a lot of work that went into these cutscenes, and you see it for 10 or 15 seconds, and then you never see it again. It's just kind of crazy. I'm in a part right now where I just got done with a backstory of my chef. Like, there's this whole like dialogue-driven option where I'm seeing it from the perspective of a person that is visiting the sushi shop, and she's telling me the story of Bancho, the sushi chef, and like I have to make these decisions about, like, you learn about why he is the way he is and why he's not working where he used to work, and it's like very dramatic. It's really interesting.
It sounds pretty cool, man.
Dude, and it just still stays chill. Like, it's not a super twitchy. There are bosses and stuff. I have fought some bosses, but I don't really feel like they ever get super difficult, at least where I am. And they always leave, because like your health is your oxygen, right? So like there's always like 1 or 2 oxygen tanks at the bottom, so you just kind of refill when you get low. But they're fun and they're rewarding. You get relics, and it just keeps unlocking new stuff. They're like I just, the progression in this game is outstanding. There's always something to be doing. If you like checklists, it's good and bad, because there's always something to check off your list. But as soon as you check things off your list, something else is added to your list. So it's like, it's just this never ending. You never feel like you get ahead and can just focus on just the story. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
definitely.
How when we played Assassin's Creed games back in the 360 and PS3 era, you would go do all the side stuff, and then, okay, now I'm going to focus on the main mission. Here, you can focus on the main mission, but you're going to stack up all these side quests. and they're just gonna stay there. You know what I mean? But they're fun. Like someone will request a specific dish, and you have to like figure out how to catch that fish or jellyfish or whatever it is that they want, and you have to season it a specific way. You just find seasonings at the bottom of the ocean, like the premise is that there's like a giant squid that's taking down all these boats.
Oh yeah, I told me that.
So there's like these random chests laying all around, and that's kind of fun. There's always something to level up. To the money that you make from the sushi shop. You level up your gear so that you can actually go deeper, that your air lasts longer, that your weapons are stronger, that you can carry more stuff because you can become over encumbered if you try to pick up too much. So if you're a guy like me that likes to just pick up everything and then figure it out later, you can't do that. You really got to pick and choose.
Yeah, you gotta get the stuff you need for the recipes and the side quests.
Exactly, and it's really fun. I mean, and then like I said, they just keep adding stuff. Like I just got added the ability to dive at night, and certain fish are only available at night. I just opened up a fish farm where there's this guy that was a patron at the sushi shop. Started a fish farm so you can actually raise fish and breed them instead of having to go catch them. So if you get something that's really popular, you can just go to your fish farm and collect what you need and take it to the sushi shop.
That's
it's just
nice, yeah.
Yeah, just little things just keep getting added and added and added, and then there's a really fun story going on with it as well, about things that happen underwater and certain beings that you run into. It makes no sense. I don't understand how people can talk
Underwater.
I don't know.
Yeah, Aquaman always managed.
Yeah.
Beings
that and
underwater. You like meet mermaids and stuff.
I'm not gonna. I can't neither confirm nor deny.
No,
but
that's
I'm not
interesting.
Gonna
That's potentially interesting.
Yeah.
So I guess you're finding out why it's like a 30-hour game now.
Yeah, it's a lot deeper than I expected it to be. And again, I'm only on like chapter 3, and it's just all I want to do. It's very easy to get like that one run in. You can do some damage. The game is very good at making you feel like everything you do. There's never a worthless run. You know what I mean?
Good.
You ever play a roguelike where like if you die and you lose everything and it's just like, well, that sucked. I didn't get to like whatever spot I needed to save everything. It's I mean, you can have that, but I don't think I've ever had a wasted run. Like I always come back with something that I can either sell or that I can progress the story in some way, and it's just really great.
It's difficult to fathom how much there is of this game.
Yeah.
You like that?
I do like that. That was definitely a hit. You sunk it.
Thanks. You try.
I'm terrible at puns. I can't just come up with them.
Well, you did the death one. We each had one. You could have just let it rest, but
I know I should have. But
you had to go down with the ship.
Welcome to the Gaming Outside, everybody. Well, Zach, let's go ahead and jump into the week's news. What do you say?
Definitely.
So things are pretty light. I feel like most of the news this week is in the Game Awards, which we're going to cover in depth towards the end of the show. However, there was one pretty big thing that happened this week that it was like the day after we recorded.
Yeah.
It was like right after, so we are a little late to the party on this, but Grand Theft Auto 6, the trailer was leaked and then officially dropped like a day early. That's coming out in 2025. Somebody in our forum posted a trailer for a game called Harold Halibut, which is on PS5 in early 2024. Just a really unique art style on that one. Vampire Survivors has an adventures update that is available right now, and it has another update called Emergency Meeting that is going to be available on December 18th. And then also Golf with Your Friends, a game that we played in Community Game Nights, is getting a team mode that is available right now, so you can actually kind of team up and do something. I want to get on and do that again. And then the last thing I got here is Alone in the Dark is delayed again, which I actually was kind of surprised because that one was already delayed, but we'll get to it. So, Zach, what did you think of that Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer?
Scott, I think I've watched it 30 times. It's I thought
seriously,
dude. For like the first week, like every time I went on breakout lunch, I was just watching the trailer again.
What?
Dude, I think it looks great, man. It looks phenomenal. This whole crime love story angle. This Tom Petty song I'd never heard of before in my life because I'm musically inept.
I never heard it either, man. And I'm like a music guy, and I actually recognized it was Tom Petty, but I was like, I don't know this song. Did he?
It's like a B-side. Is that what they say in the industry?
Sure. I mean, B-sides were back with the albums. They would always have like the big hits on the one side, and then the ones that just were whatever they put on the flip side of the album, assuming nobody would ever play it. So,
I use the lingo correctly then.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it looks phenomenal, and if it's true to Rockstar tradition, then that's in-engine footage we saw.
It looked incredible. I'm not a big GTA guy. I played through 5, but I did not love it. I was like blown away by the sheer scope of what I was doing in that game in terms of like open world environment, felt alive.
Yeah.
But it just felt gross, man. Like I think I was torturing somebody by hooking them up to a car battery at one point.
It's pretty awesome, right?
No, man, it made me feel, that was really uncomfortable.
I think it wanted you to feel uncomfortable.
Well, it succeeded admirably.
Yeah, but think about all the cool heists you were doing in that game, You got to plan out your own, you get to park your own escape vans, and you're going to go in quiet or loud and stuff.
Get in the van!
The game's great.
I mean, and I haven't played Vice City, but even I got some Vice City vibes from this. Is this same place or same tone, or what is it?
It is definitely Vice City in the modern era, which I guess means a lot of Florida man energy. A lot of twerking. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I saw that. Somebody was twerking on top of a car that was moving.
Yeah, which I guess a lot of those videos, or all those videos, are parodying real life videos, but I'm not hip enough to know that.
Oh, have you heard the one guy that's like trying to sue, or he's making videos on TikTok and whatnot, demanding Rockstar talk to him or pay him $2 million for using his likeness?
Oh yeah,
because there's a character, this dude, he goes by the Joker. He calls himself the Joker.
And he's modeled after the Jared Leto version for some reason.
Sure, I guess, but like all tatted up.
Yeah,
and then there's a character that kind of looks like him. It doesn't look like him to me at all. It looks like just a dude with the tattoos on his face.
Also, I mean, people have been trying to sue Rockstar for everything for 2 decades now, and nobody's won.
Yeah.
So good luck, I guess. You don't think that they have like an expert team of lawyers saying like, yes, this is fine under parody law? I mean, yeah, guy's an idiot.
A company that big, they're
right.
They're fine. Did you see? I don't remember the actor's name, but you would know him. The guy that was the voice of Arthur Morgan.
Oh yeah, Roger Clark.
Maybe it wasn't Arthur Morgan.
No, yeah,
it was somebody. No, that name didn't sound familiar. Is what I'm saying. I feel like Clark I would have recognized.
Oh, I see.
But somebody who was a voice actor for Red Dead 2, I think it was Red Dead 2, did a response video and says,
"Yeah, that was Roger Clark."
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he was advising him it would be better to use the notoriety to make yourself some money.
Yeah. Because you're not going to get a job at Home Depot with
yeah, the face like that.
Yeah. I don't know. I just thought it was kind of funny.
Yeah, the density of the environment got me. The lighting is obviously outrageous, but for me, the trailer is just like the tone of everything. I was like, dude, I just simply cannot wait for this game. The crime love story. The song that's playing really makes it sound like Lucia is, almost corrupting Jason.
Is it pronounced Lucia?
I think so, right? That was my guess.
Well, the only reason I ask is because I have a coworker who has that as her first name, and she pronounces it Lucia.
It could be Lucia. I truly don't know, and I guess it could be either way, and we won't know until the game comes out.
Right? Because I remember I told her, I was like, "Hey, there's a pretty big video game coming out, and your name is one of the main characters."
That'd be pretty exciting.
I mean, she's got a pretty unique name, so that was kind of
looking stunning in that bikini, Lucia / Lucia.
Well, and you said it's a love story. Like a Bonnie and Clyde kind of thing, and
right. Except I guess she's the Clyde, the instigator, which is pretty cool.
I mean, this game's going to be huge.
Of course,
it's going to be.
It's the most viewed trailer in 24 hours or whatever.
Well, I mean, if everybody watches it 30 times like you did, I watched it once.
I just couldn't stop, man. It looked incredible. What do you want?
I'm really surprised that you're that stoked for a Grand Theft Auto game. I guess you liked 4 so much. Yeah. And you loved Red Dead 2, so
right.
I guess it does make sense. I don't know.
Well, I mean, the last Grand Theft Auto game predates this show by several years, or at least me being on it. So,
How long has it been?
it was 2013 was GTA
Wow.
5. So I'm just saying, when would the opportunity have come up for me to discuss Grand Theft Auto anyway?
That's true. I mean, we talked about Grand Theft Auto 4.
Yeah, when I
Quite a
replayed
bit.
it was amazing.
Yeah, you replayed it. So you're clearly a Rockstar fan, but I don't know, man. I doubt I'm gonna. I struggled to get through the other one, and not just. I mean, it was engaging. Don't get me wrong, but just the sheer love for this series and just how many people, like who hasn't played Grand Theft Auto 5 at this point?
Oh, it was 190 million copies sold. I can't imagine anybody hasn't at least tried it.
Right. Yeah. But like I said, I didn't enjoy it, but yet I still did beat it. It's like the only Grand Theft Auto game I've beaten.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, I feel like even if you're not excited about GTA 6, you're gonna get a copy, right? Everybody else is talking about it.
Swept up in the yeah. I like to be part of the thing,
and it's hard not to when it's that big a deal. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, like I said, not that much news, but I think it's worth noting the Alone in the Dark delay. This game was originally supposed to release in October, but was delayed the first time to January of 2024, and they've delayed it again now to March 20th, 2024 on Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5, and PC. THQ Nordic says that it's to avoid crunch for the development team, Pieces Interactive, during the holidays. So whether or not that's true, or if they're just saying that to make them sound like the good guys, I don't know. Do you have any thoughts?
Well, I also just think it's wise, because if it was going to come out late January, then you're already getting swept into the February energy.
Mm-hmm.
With Persona and Suicide Squad up front. I don't know. I think waiting until March is probably just smarter on their end, and it probably does avoid crunch too. So it's a win-win, really.
Yeah. Here's the quote from THQ Nordic. It says, the well-being of the teams is a top priority, and both companies want to avoid any potential crunch over the Christmas holidays. Furthermore, THQ Nordic and Pieces Interactive want to ensure that the game not only meets but exceeds the expectations of the community, especially with the outstanding performances of Hollywood stars David Harbour and Jodie Comer as the main protagonists. I did not remember that David Harbour is in that, and I'm all good to go. After I'm becoming a bigger fan of his after rewatching Stranger Things and then Violent Night. He's just so good in that. I'm just really liking him as an actor. So it is also worth noting that THQ's Nordic's parent company is Embracer Group. So I feel like they are under the gun to make sure that this is a quality product.
Right, yeah. If this isn't a hit, your studio could be dead.
Yeah.
Actually, with the way they're saving money, your game could be a hit and you might still be dead.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was like another story this week of somebody getting shut down. I can't even remember who. It's just like every week there's one.
It's over 8,000 jobs this year so far now.
In a booming industry.
Yeah, in a record profit year.
It's crazy.
Doesn't make no sense. How do you feel about Vampire Survivors getting its first little crossover with Among Us?
Oh, is that what that? I didn't even get a chance to watch. Is that what the emergency meeting thing is?
Yeah, it's like some kind of weird Among Us thing. Because the adventures is like each character having their own little story.
Yeah, that's more intriguing to me.
Which is super cool, absolutely. But yeah, it's just like, look at some Among Us stuff going on with Vampire Survivors. It's kind of, I guess I don't know. They both got big around the same time, right? Or am I misremembering that?
Yeah, they were both COVID games, right?
Yeah, I think so. So maybe they get along. Kindred spirits, high tide raised all boats in that scenario.
Yeah.
Maybe they.
I mean, that's how I got into Golf with Friends too, as a COVID game, because we wanted to play together and.
Definitely, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, but I'm behind on Vampire Survivors. I mean, it's been so long since I played it. It's been about a year. Like at this time of year last year, I was doing nothing but playing Vampire Survivors. If you remember,
it's our game of the year at the Gaming Outsider.
It was. It's kind of crazy. Made CB mad.
Now it's not too hard to get him riled up
because he doesn't like that game.
I'm sure he'd be dunking all over the GTA 6 trailer if he was here.
Probably
somehow.
Probably. I mean, not as bad as the internet does. All the the right wing people.
Is that so funny? It flips sides. Because last time it was the liberals were mad at everything about GTA. Like around GTA 5, all the waterboarding and stuff, and how it's taking it too far. But now it's the conservatives are mad because you could shoot cops or whatever.
I mean, that was always a thing in GTA, wasn't it?
It's kind of the point of GTA, really. Just saying.
I don't know. I think people just want to be angry
Oh,
on both sides, not just that side.
No, yeah, definitely. It's just it's funny because in the time before that, it was a conservative. It's just if GTA is on a cycle along with the political discourse, good for them. They're so in sync with the satire.
Crazy.
And the funniest thing about GTA is like if you listen to radio shows, there's always like both sides are equally called out for their stupidity.
Yeah.
It's always been an equal opportunity hater of power structures.
It's also just annoying. I'm just so tired of everybody has to be right, and everybody has to yell their thoughts and opinions, and nobody wants to discuss anymore. They just want to yell at each other.
Well, and you have to snap judge pick a side on a any kind of topic.
Mm-hmm.
You're not allowed to look into it further.
It's like politics is a sports now instead of
definitely.
actually caring. It's just like my side is winning, and that's all that matters. So,
right.
Boy, we're getting on a tangent.
Yeah, let's get into a topic on tribalism while we're in the middle of this. Anyway, video games.
I mean, that like I said, the news is very light because there was a ton of news and reveals for the Game Awards, so it was slim pickings trying to find anything to talk about. But obviously, the GTA 6 thing is pretty huge. So
I can't believe you're not more excited. Come on.
I don't know, man.
The biggest piece of excitement for me was that I have like a lot of stuff planned for 2024, like trips and things.
Mm-hmm.
So I was so excited it's coming out 2025 because I'm like, great, I can use a week of vacation to play GTA 6. It'd be great.
You're going to plan your vacation. Be careful because when it inevitably gets delayed,
No doubt. That's why I'm happy they said 2025 off the bat. That way I can actually believe it will come out. Because if they had said coming 2024, I'd be like, no, it's not.
Wait, what's with the leaks at Rockstar, by the way? Remember when like the alpha stuff was leaked months and months ago? And apparently like this one is like one of the developers like son leaked this.
That kid's gonna have a rough Christmas.
Yeah, if his dad's still working, like how does that work, I wonder? Like
he's gonna a big old lump of coal signed by Sam Hauser.
Oh my goodness. I would be so nervous of getting caught. I would just never do that, right?
Well, I think if I was a developer's son, I'd probably feel pretty safe that I'm not going to have any legal recourse against me.
Yeah. I mean, if you're what did they say? He's like 17 or something like that?
Yeah. But the hacker who like leaked all the footage last year is going to prison, right? Or he's facing charges of prison time?
I have no idea. I don't remember. I didn't remember it got that serious.
I think so.
The thing about that story that cracks me up is people were like, well, this footage of way early stuff is really going to hurt the branding of Grand Theft. What are you talking about?
Yeah, dude, that was so funny when that was happening.
Like, no matter what, this game is going to sell like gangbusters. It's going to be on the top of the charts for like 2 years straight, like Grand Theft Auto 5 was.
Or 10 years straight, like Grand Theft Auto 5. Yeah, I remember when all the game journalists being like, this might be the most damaging leak in history. And it's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, it's going to be fine.
Grand Theft Auto. It could have been stick figures in the leaked footage and people would still pre-order day one for the game.
Yep, exactly. I don't understand what people are thinking that. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and move on to the new games we've been playing. But before we do, I want to remind everybody about how you can help support the Gaming Outsider if you would like to and are able to, because we are an independently funded podcast. So all this stuff does need to get paid for by us. Actually, it gets paid for by our patrons. And you can become a patron as well if you'd like to sign up. You can do it for as little as $1 a month, and that'll give you early access to the episodes, get it a day before everybody else. Or you get some bonus episodes at the higher tiers 3 and 5, and we would really appreciate the support if you can do that. Currently, we've got our most recent episodes. We did a Desert Island Games episode with Paul Hine. If you're not familiar with those, we sit down with somebody and ask them what games they would pick if they were stranded on a desert island for an extended period of time. What games would you take with you? And we also talk about like their favorite games, and it's a lot of fun. Zack, Alyssa, and I also did a spoiler cast for Alan Wake 2. Those are available right now. And upcoming episodes, actually, we are recording another Desert Island Games episode after we record this one. We're going to be meeting with Patreon subscriber Jay Henry. He is a really good guy, and looking forward to talking with him. And then we are planning a Break the Seal on Super Mario RPG with Kevin Honigford. We were supposed to do it with David Newman. Unfortunately, he had, well, not unfortunately, this is a good thing for him, but his wife went into labor, and he is now the proud father of a baby girl. So he was not able to record with us this weekend. So
couldn't you have just played Mario RPG all throughout the labor, though? Yeah, the guy can't do much, right?
I mean, he's already beat the game.
Oh, okay.
He's already beat it. It's just a matter of sitting down. He's like, I'll have time during the week to record with you guys. And I was like, that's cute.
He should have just gone to a janitor's closet in the hospital and recorded from there.
Yeah, exactly. Right. But anyway, if you're interested in helping us out, you can head over to patreon.com/thegocast, and we would appreciate the support. With that, let's go ahead and jump into the new games that we haven't been playing. All right, Zach, this might be the smallest list of upcoming releases I've seen since the history of this show.
Yeah, it's pretty tiny. Off the top, we have very retro-inspired RPG Metro Quester coming out on all consoles. It's already been on PC. It comes December 15th. Trinity Fusion is a roguelike action platformer that you can team up with your parallel reality selves to make some kind of Trinity. It comes to PS5, PS4, Xbox Series consoles, Xbox One, and PC December 15th. Palia is a town life sim coming to Switch December 15th. And then Rough Justice 84 is this kind of weird interactive narrative card game. Looks very unique. But that's going to PS5, Xbox Series consoles, and Switch December 20th. Well, that's it. Scott, what's calling your name this week?
I mean, I'm going to just keep playing Dave the Diver, but if I had to pick one, Trinity Fusion clearly looks rad to me. It looks like right in my wheelhouse. I'm not going to play it. I really want to finish Dave the Diver before the end of the year, and I need to get back. I want to try to have Dave the Diver done before I go to Christmas break, so I can focus on Christmas break on getting through Spider-Man 2 and Mirage, although it sounds like maybe I don't need to, but
I mean, you might like Mirage more. I didn't hate it, which is an improvement for the franchise of Assassin's Creed lately.
Yeah, that's true. I want to talk though about I'm gonna get like vent for a minute. This game, Palia, whatever. I don't understand the appeal.
I love that we're not pronouncing anything in sync this week.
How did you pronounce it?
I said Palia, and that was one of your suggestions. It doesn't matter. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, it's okay. Anytime I see a game where I'm like decorating a living room or interior decorating, I have absolutely no desire to do that. And I know you like slice of life games more than I do, but
I was gonna say on this list, this is probably the game that would appeal to me the most.
Really?
Oh. Yeah. I'm with you. I don't care about interior decorating, but I do kind of like the just living in the town kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I can't get into it. Although you've talked so highly of Lake, I feel like at some point I need to give that one a shot, but I don't know.
I do want to investigate more of these kind of cozy town games because it seems to be quite the burgeoning little subgenre out there.
Somebody likes them because they keep making them.
Yeah, so. People must love them. Animal Crossing doesn't appeal to me, but maybe one of these one day I will check out.
Right. All right, well, neither you nor I played anything new this week, so we don't have any new games for us to talk about. However, I did sit down with Mark Szymanski to talk about a couple of games that he played. One of them was a demo, and the other one is a port that is being released. So we're going to go ahead and play this for you right now. Well, hello there, Mark. How you doing today?
I'm doing great, Scott. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing well. You were taking up quite the games for us, man. Checking these out for us. I appreciate you doing these reviews.
It's my pleasure.
Well, the first one is actually just a demo. I think everybody can actually play this demo now, but you actually got a little bit advanced access to it. The game is called Luto, Luto. You're playing it on PS5.
Correct.
This one comes from Broken Bird Games and was provided to us by Mark Allen PR. Tell me about this one because this one looks super creepy, but I could not tell what's going on story-wise from the trailer. What is Luto?
So this demo is creepy. It's not over the top creepy. I've played creepier games. I'll be upfront with that, but this one is totally entertaining. A lot of fun. You start off in what looks like a standard everyday house, and then you get a phone call, you pick up the phone, and when you hang up the phone, the house is transformed into this nightmare-looking place. You can't get out. There's chains hanging from the ceiling. Some of the rooms are locked. There's just it's an unpleasant place to be, and the music has changed. It has immersed you into this arena of fear and paranoia, and I loved every moment of it. Skipping ahead.
How long was the demo?
It was a 1-hour demo.
1 hour.
I think if I were to play through it again, I could probably get through it in about 40 minutes, simply because I know where to find the clues on the second time around.
Sure.
But that's not how you're supposed to play the game. You're not supposed to go back and how fast can I go? No, you're supposed to seek out each clue and look in every room and see what's around the next corner and be frightened by the noises that you're hearing and the minimal jump scares that pop up. Just every now and then there's something that just puts the goosebumps on your arm. It was such a fun environment.
What's the gameplay like? How does you said like finding clues and things? Is there any action, or is this like a walking simulator?
Walking simulator. There was one moment where I thought there was something that I would have to battle, and if anybody comes along and plays the demo after, they'll know exactly what I'm talking about, but you don't.
Okay.
I probably shouldn't have spoiled that, but hey.
So are you going to pick this one up when the game's out? Is it like, did you like it enough that you want to play it more?
100%. I'm intrigued by the story that they told. So I cited in the article, in the review that I wrote, the story itself is being very slowly exposed, one step at a time. You're finding out what's going on next, and the demo itself stopped short of telling you any kind of in-depth story. But I want to know what that story is, so I'll be in line on opening day.
Very cool. That is Luto. I'm not sure if I'm saying it correctly. Luto or Luto. Why is it called that? Is there
hasn't been told? We haven't been told yet. So this one had a subtitle. It was called Luto: The Choice, because it's implying a choice that you have made, probably with the lady on the phone that I spoke about a moment ago. I believe divorce might be involved in the story of some kind. There's a child involved, so I'm kind of. It's really confusing right now, but I don't mind. I'm there.
Sounds good. Looking forward to hearing more about that in the future, man. And people can check that out right now, I believe, because I think on last Friday it came out, available for everybody to download, so you can go play it right now. But I want to hear about this other game you've played for us called Fearmonium, which you were playing on Switch. Now, I know this game has been out for a while on other platforms, but it just got a port to Switch. And I'll be honest, I've never heard of it. I don't know how this one fell under my radar, but I am very intrigued because, number one, I love my gear-gated games, and I also just really like the art style. It's got that. It looks like Cuphead, if Cuphead were a gear-gated game.
Fair enough. I can see
tell us about. This one comes from Red Black Spade, by the way, as a developer, and it was provided to us by PR Hound. So give us the lowdown on Fearmonium.
So Fearmonium, I'm sensing a trend in some of the games I'm selecting for reviews. I do have a lean towards horror movies and horror games. It's my bread and butter. I love them. So this one piqued my interest because the main character that you're playing looks like a younger female version of Pennywise from the new It movies, not the old ones, the new ones. Pretty much down to the costume. And you are dancing around this young boy's mind. I would say he's maybe 15 years old, 13, somewhere in that range, and you are trying to induce fear and become a phobia for this young kid. Which
wow, that's dark.
It is very dark, and it's worse. If you don't mind me telling you a little bit of more story. Well, I'll start with the positive. The graphics are beautiful. The gameplay is fun. The music's great. The problem that I've run into is in the story and then in a little bit of the mechanics.
Oh, you don't like this story?
Because, so the young kid is living with an abusive stepfather. His mom pretty much sets him up for a distraction so that she's not the one being abused. And then you're in his mind and you're trying to make it worse. And I'm thinking to myself, this character that you're in his mind, he's already got things bad enough, and here I am trying to make things worse. Now, I haven't finished the game, so I'm about 2 hours in, and I'm getting the sense that you're going to start battling against these other things that are trying to keep him down. I can't imagine a game where the intent is to make this kid go into a mental institution or something.
Right.
For the first couple of hours, I am having a little bit of a hard time wanting to win, because right now winning means this kid is destroyed.
Wow, that is interesting. I'm really curious to see how that goes story-wise. You said you had some issues with the controls as well?
Yep. So a couple of the mechanics leave something for me to be desired. You have to be facing in the direction of the enemy for your attack to hit. And there are some times where there are so many enemies on the screen, and I'm kind of like poking around on an invisible screen right here. So many things on the screen that you can't see yourself to know if you're pointed in the right direction. So I'm swinging my mallet, which is one of the few tools that I have at my disposal right now. But because I'm facing in the wrong direction, I'm being hit by these enemies and then losing, and then I have to start over again. The second thing I don't like about the mechanics is its manual save. You need to go and find this character named Lady Depression and say, I want to save my game when you find her. And it's bit me a few times because I'm not used to that, where I've beaten a boss and then went on to the next segment, lost, but because I forgot to go see Lady Depression, I had to go and beat that boss again. And it was not easy. It was I felt more like I was being lucky when I beat him than a skill that I had earned.
Gotcha. I mean, I feel like that's pretty standard in gear-gated games. Like, I mean, the old Metroid games had like a save station, but they were pretty liberal with them. You know, like you would get one right before a boss, or something like that. So
not in this one. Nope. You have to have. Now there is somebody that you can pay with balloons. That's your currency in this one. You pay balloons, and they will tell you all the places where you have seen Lady Depression. So you can go and find her, but it is not convenient. And in some cases, you can't actually get to her because your path to where you are includes like a steep cliff that you can't climb back up.
Gotcha.
Or something along those lines. So I'm going to see it through because I have to believe that I'm here to help this kid, and I want to, instead of making things worse. But
keep us posted. I'd be curious to hear how that goes. I mean, like I said, it's been out for a while, so we could probably find out what the story is somewhere. It's not like it's this is the first time it's been released. But I hope you enjoy it, man. I hope it gets better. But that is a dark setup.
It sure is.
I've never heard that premise before, and like what's the reason for the theme? Because it feels almost like carnival-y. You know what I mean? Like it's got this carnival feel to it.
It's another dark story. So the young man was at the carnival that day with his girlfriend, who is the only thing keeping him sane and happy, and she tells him she's moving away. And then right after she tells him she's moving away, he gets scared by the clown that you are in his mind, trying to make things worse right now. So
wow, I kind of want to play this just to see how that story goes through, man. That is that is a dark premise, but sorry the mechanics aren't great for you, but hopefully the things pick up. But I'm really curious about that. I may have to check that one out. So again, that is Fearmonium. You're playing on Switch, but it's available on other platforms as well. So all right, man. Well, thanks for stopping by. These are the only new games we have this week. We none of the core podcast team actually played anything new this week, so you are it, man.
Super.
So thanks for covering these games. I do appreciate it, and we'll talk to you next time.
Sure will. Thanks, Scott.
Thanks again, Mark. Really appreciate you doing that. As always, he's already cranking out those reviews. He just started, and he's already on like his third or fourth one, so he's rocking it. I want to give a shout out to actually we don't have anyone to give a shout out to. We don't have any new Facebook groups. So if you know anybody that likes video games, please point them out to our Facebook group or our Discord. Drop us a review on iTunes if you can, and also check out our website, thegamingoutsider.com. We got written reviews there, including Sean Coates' review of Roller Coaster Tycoon Adventures Deluxe, as well as his RoboCop Rogue City review, which sold Zack on it pretty well.
It sounds cool, man.
It does sound cool. I actually have a copy sitting right over there, and I bought it to play it and then give it away, and I did not get a chance to play it because I got sucked into Dave the Diver, and I don't want to make Tim Thane actually won that copy, so he's got it coming his way, and he's already promised to pass it along to another listener. I love that thing is happening. Like we're just
great.
like it makes it very community driven, and that's cool. So also Zach's review of Lake Season's Greetings is up, and then my review of Bounty of One is available as well. With that, let's go ahead.
Bounty of One looks so cool.
It's pretty cool. I mean, it's a lot simpler. It doesn't blow your mind as much as Vampire Survivors did, but it's one of the better homages to Vampire Survivors, if you will, or iterations, I guess, maybe a better word. But
we're gonna have to come up with a name for that genre now.
Yeah, Vampire Survivors like.
No, I'm not. We're so lazy as an industry, we can't ever come up with cool names. They used to come up with names, first-person shooter. Somebody thought of that.
Yeah.
But if first-person shooter is being born in the modern era, every game would just be called a Doom-like.
A Doom-like. Yeah, probably.
Terrible.
All right, well, let's go ahead and jump into this week's From the Outside In topic. Everybody's talking about the Game Awards, so we decided to center our From the Outside In topic around them. There were a ton of reveals, and of course the awards themselves. We'll go over what stood out to us the most, as well as the community, as we do at every time this year. So let's get into it. How did you feel about the Game Awards this year, Zach? I know there's a lot of talk on the internet about how people aren't happy with what the show has become, but I'm curious to hear your thoughts.
I had such high hopes. I had a little hope going in this year when they were announcing a lot of the presenters were, Vince Zampella or Christopher Judge, people that actually had something to do with video games. But it was just the same old stuff, Here comes Matthew McConaughey to ramble on for 3 minutes about a game that he claims he's in, but we didn't even see that.
Is he in it, or is he helping produce it? I don't really understand his role. I could not get it.
Well, he said each player will have a personal experience with him or something like that.
Personal experience with him? That sounds creepy.
I don't know. It sounds right to me.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, he had to reference that. Yeah. So to me, man, honestly, this might have been the worst year.
Wow.
And I know a lot of people, nebulous people who can't defend themselves, I guess, on the show. But there's a lot of people who say like the awards don't really matter anyway, and they don't want to hear speeches. And it's like, if that's the case, just rename the show. Don't call it Game Awards.
Call it E4.
Yes, if you have to, or Winter Games Showcase or something. It's just, you can't keep calling it the Game Awards and giving the award winners 30 seconds to give a speech.
I feel like that's generous.
The prompter is 30-second countdown, and then it says, please wrap it up. So disrespectful. As the Baldur's Gate developers are talking about their the cinematic lead of their team dying a month ago, you're telling them to wrap it up.
Mm-hmm.
Just insane levels of disrespect.
And plus, weren't they supposed to announce that it was available on Xbox now? And they just, because they were so frazzled, they had to get off the stage quickly, so they couldn't make that announcement in front of everybody in their speech.
Yeah, but frickin' Anthony Mackie can go out there trying his best to get a Keanu Reeves moment.
Yeah, right.
That's okay. I feel like every celebrity on the stage is trying to get the Keanu energy. Everybody wanted their little moment.
Mm-hmm.
We
gave Gonzo freaking 5 minutes.
Dude, I was wretched.
Like, we get it. He likes chickens.
It was so weird. And then, there's also just no sense to what gets to go on stage or not.
Mm-hmm.
Best debut indie got to go on the stage, but best indie game did not.
Right.
Or best RPG, which is the genre the Game of the Year winner got an award for, also didn't get to go on stage. I just don't understand it.
And this is just because I'm not into esports. I'm okay with them doing the esports ones that.
Yeah, I wish they weren't there at all.
I do too. That feels so weird. Who played these games the best? No, that's not what we're talking about.
Yeah,
we're talking about the people that made the games.
Best original score didn't get to go on the stage, but best adaptation did. What the hell is going on?
I don't know, man.
It's just nonsense. And I'm beginning to think, all these years I've always said I like Jeff. He's a nice guy. He seems to care about the industry. I'm not convinced he does anymore. He obviously cares a lot more about Hollywood than he does video games. It
really
clear.
feels that way. It really does.
He gives a young up and coming actor to come out and bring out the Game of the Year award.
I don't know if you would call him up and coming. You talking about Timothée Chalamet?
Yeah.
I mean, is he up and coming? He's had multiple hit movies, like pretty massive hit
What are the
movies.
hit movies that he's had?
He was in Dune.
Which bombed. But it came out during the pandemic. Yeah, did not make money at the box office.
Oh, well, yeah. Wasn't he in, I just had it. Wasn't he in Les Mis?
I have no idea. But also, how long ago was that?
Maybe I'm misremembering the actor. He's got Wonka that just came out.
Yes, Wonka's coming out. I don't doubt that he is a name younger people know. But I'm not sure that I'm not sure that the award winners at the Game Awards care that the kid from Dune is there to give them their trophy.
Yeah. Like why isn't it traditional to like have the person that won it last year? Present it?
That would make the most sense, yeah.
I mean, that's what they did for the best performance with Christopher Judge, right? Which, by the way,
he had the best moment of the night.
I laughed out loud so hard when he said that his speech was longer than the Call of Duty campaign. I saw an article that the Sledgehammer, or it's Sledgehammer that did that one, right?
Yeah, Sledgehammer did it this year, yeah.
Was really not happy. And I'm like, well, of course they're not happy. Then make a better game. I don't know.
Although what's really funny about them getting so bent out of shape about that joke is that he didn't even say it was bad, did he? He just said it was short.
Yeah.
But you guys got so defensive that it really lets me know what you think of the campaign you made.
Yeah, exactly. I seriously was not expecting that. That was really funny. It was like he was working his way up to it, almost like he was nervous to actually say it. But then once he did, it was great. I'm kind of in the same boat as you. I'm not as distasteful about it. I don't have as bad of a taste in my mouth. I think that it's very professionally done. What I don't understand is why does it have to be within this 3-hour window? Like, what's the rush?
Right.
That you're not going to have, that you think gamers are not going to sit and watch something for a 45 or a minute and a half speech to see what trailer's coming next? Let them have their moment, man.
Absolutely. That's what you claim that it's all about.
And it's seen more about advertisements and reveals.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like there needs to be 2 events now.
Which is what it really is. But Jeff Keighley's always talking about how, it's about the awards.
Right.
Just be honest about what your show is then. It is an E3, but occasionally we give out a trophy.
And some of those guys that he talks to that are like presenting their game, it was very awkward. Where he's like, all right, well, we're going to show your game? Yeah? Okay. All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
It was just super awkward.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I don't remember her name, but the girl that does the pre-show, the half-hour pre-show.
Oh, yeah.
I find everything that she does and says absolutely cringeworthy. And I'm not saying that just because she's a girl.
It was rough.
She tries to crack these jokes. I don't know if she wrote them, but it is very, very awkward.
Oh, yeah. She's like, there's like some joke about like a new persona. Not about me. I'm happy being me. I'm in persona like game or something.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
It was pretty bad.
I don't know. Like, bring back Aisha Tyler.
Sure, she's great.
I liked her a lot.
I think we should just have Joseph Fares come out and host the Game Awards.
Oh, dude, that would be great.
That'd be a hell of a show.
Oh, dude, that would be amazing with his broken English and all.
Oh my god, yeah, it's just
like the Oscars.
It's the 16th sci-fi co-op shooter trailer of the year. He's like, who gives an F about this? It'd been awesome.
That'd be pretty great. All right, well, that's what we thought about the Game Awards. Let's see what the community said before we get into the nitty-gritty.
Sure.
Starting over on Facebook, Sean Coates says, I started watching about the first hour of the show, but I didn't end up finishing it, so I just watched the highlight reel of most of all the trailer reveals, and I must say, I'm interested in the Jurassic Park survival game. It's just nice to know that you can make Jurassic Park games that aren't management sim. Finally. Or a Telltale game, right?
Oh, yeah. Damn. How many people remember that, I wonder?
I do.
Well, I understand that we do. That every nerd listening to this show remembers it. But I'm saying,
I didn't play it though. I really need to remedy that.
Because I think was it before Walking Dead or was it after? I think it was
before.
Right?
Yeah. I think Telltale really took off with The Walking Dead.
Definitely. That's why I was wondering how many people, or like Back to the Future, how many people remember that one?
Oh man, I wanted to like that one so bad.
I liked it.
I didn't make it past the second episode.
Yeah.
No, but isn't that the one that like has something to do with the Barbasol can? That you finally get some answers with the Barbasol can? Oh
yes, you're right. Yeah, that is the big thread it picks up on, was what happened to the Barbasol can in the jungle.
Because that was never answered in the movies at all. I was like, oh, that's going to be a sequel kind of thing or whatever.
That is like some Star Wars energy of like, we didn't really, we didn't see what happened to the guy who operated the turret and the Death Star. We got to check in on him.
Right. But I think that game is really interesting. I don't know what it's going to be like. Is it going to be a first-person combat survival type thing? I can't really tell because all we saw was cutscenes, right? We didn't see any gameplay.
Yeah, although I thought it was really goofy that it was just this woman is just that you're playing as is recreating the moments from the movie.
Yeah, it was like she's in the kitchen as well with the velociraptors, and she's also got the spitting dinosaur. I was like, really?
But she said she was forgotten, right? So it takes place after the first movie. So it'd be really funny if the game was just you Forrest Gumping your way into the same scenarios from the movie. It's just be ridiculous.
I hope it's not. I hope that was just a way to sell it. It was. I really get the impression that was them being like, look, this takes place directly after the first movie. Yeah, it's on the same park, and
the name makes me think that it's going to be like a like actual like survival genre game where you're cutting down trees and building houses and stuff.
No, I hope not.
But I hope not. But that's just what the title, because it's right there in the title. But I hope it is. I hope it's like a first-person horror game, like Alien Isolation, where you're just trying to escape the island. That'd be cool.
How dumb would that be? Like, why would somebody be building houses on Isla Nubla?
I don't know. That's just what the name. I'm sure. I am very hopeful that I'm wrong.
I hope you are as well. I'm just glad it's not a management sim, like Sean said, because I'm not a big fan of those games. It being Jurassic Park nearly got me to try it, but I did not. I did not try it.
Yes.
Music is really, man, that music is so good. All right. That's all we had on Facebook. We'll move over to Discord. You want to read Thomas's comment there?
Sure. Although quickly, I want to say I was a little harsh on Dune. Okay, it barely made its money back. It wasn't a bomb. I need to clear the record.
I didn't think it bombed. Yeah.
I didn't want the Dune fans out here getting mad at me. I know it wasn't the hit Warner Brothers wanted. That's what I remember.
Well, yeah. I mean, the timing was kind of not helpful to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the sequel got pushed back because of the writer's strike, right?
Yeah, I think that's right.
Did you see it? Did you see Dune?
No, I did really want to, but I guess that was part of the problem because I didn't go see it.
I mean, it was on, I think it's like on HBO or something, but
sure, yeah.
I saw it. I watched it, actually sat down and watched it, and I couldn't tell you anything that happened in that movie. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I never read the book. I never saw the original movie with Sting. I truly don't understand what's going on in that universe, and I heard the book is like even more dense, so.
Yeah, I read like I read the first book. I couldn't tell you what happened.
Okay, so it's not just me.
Yeah, but yeah, I also listen to audiobook format, and I think that might be one where it's better to read because of how dense it is.
Mm-hmm.
But Thomas Bex over at Discord writes in, I just read a list of the winners, and there were no surprises. I don't think this is an award show that I want to stay up for. Here's a reaction from a friend of mine from Ireland. Just finished watching the Game Awards, and this was absolutely awful. Jeff Keighley should be ashamed of himself. Rushing through major award categories and rushing winners through their speeches just to get more ads was truly shameful. And why did Gonzo have so much screen time? Back to Thomas. I really doubt I'll be watching the Game Awards after this. I don't actually have a problem with the winners. From what I've read, Baldur's Gate 3 and Alan Wake 2 are fantastic games, so I don't have an issue with those games winning. I don't even mind some trailers showing as this variety can be a good thing. But the ceremony itself was absolutely atrocious and cynical. So yeah, definitely not worth watching IMO.
I think someone did the math, and there was like 11 minutes given to speeches. Like people actually able to like thank people.
At 30 seconds a pop, that's not surprising to hear.
It is just insane to me. I mean, I got annoyed when they do it at the Oscars too, but that's after like they've been up there for like a minute and a half or something. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. Give them their time.
The Oscars are different because they're always preaching about saving the forest or something instead of just being like, just talk about the industry, man.
Yeah.
but it is inexcusable, right? Like the Nakamura, the lady, the woman who worked at Tango Workshop, whatever.
Right.
She got to come out there and basically just drop a publisher pitch for some reason.
Yeah,
that was weird. Or Hideo Kojima gets to come and announce a non-game for 5 minutes. That was weird.
I love how everyone is like, it's like a big surprise that Hideo Kojima is there. Like, he's there every year, isn't he?
That's not a surprise. They're boys.
It's like, it would be a bigger surprise if he wasn't there.
Yeah.
And then Jordan Peele comes out and he's involved. I don't understand.
Yeah, I mean, I did think it's kind of a cute idea that Jordan Peele was talking about how he wanted to make games but had to end up making movies, and how Hideo Kojima wanted to make movies but had to end up making games. And now they're kind of helping each other achieve their dream. I think that's kind of like a fun story.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if you needed to announce. I don't know if it needed to be here or quite. It shouldn't have been that long if you weren't going to, let Baldur's Gate talk about winning their trophy.
Mm-hmm.
Game
of the year.
Right.
Game of the year.
Yeah, 30 seconds for a Game of the Year speech.
Mm-hmm.
That should be the one where it's just the prompter's off, right? It takes as long as you want.
It should be.
Yeah.
And like, what's the rush? It's not like you're having to deal with TV. You were streaming on platform like YouTube and you know what I mean? Like,
and like you said, you have a captive audience. People want to see the trailers live. They want to have the excitement of reacting to them.
Mm-hmm.
And you always, after Game of the Year, you just have one more thing, so people will sit through all of the awards that they want.
Oh man, by the way, what a bummer of a final reveal.
Yeah, well, for you and I, definitely.
I was like, oh, what are they gonna end with?
I know.
A new Monster Hunter game. I know that gets some people really excited. Jacob from our team is a massive Monster Hunter fan.
Well, it's Capcom's best-selling single game, right? Monster Hunter World. So obviously, it's a huge deal, just not to you or I.
Mm-hmm.
But it was quite deflating. I agree.
It's just
though I respected the hell out of them for saying 2025. I like
Why?
this because then it doesn't do the 2024 and then it's delayed thing.
Okay,
it's getting some actual realistic dates out there. It's nice.
Yeah, I agree. Next up on Discord was Jackie-san. He said, I had a great time at them. He actually was there. He actually had a picture.
That would be a different energy, I'm sure.
Yeah. He had a picture with Todd Howard. That was pretty...
Right, God Howard himself.
He said, personally, I'm not one who wants to hear long speeches. A list of thanks gets old. A few choice words would be nice, but it's rarely that. You can see the winners are usually very, very excited to win, and I understand it can be difficult to come up with a nice speech. I will say, though, watching it live in person makes the show 100 times more enjoyable. I don't know. I don't feel like the speeches are for us. That is that person's moment. I'm not wanting them to have a longer speech for my own personal enjoyment. I want them to have their moment. They've put all this time to make something that I thoroughly enjoy, blood, sweat, and tears into this property, and I want them to have that time. They should have that time in the limelight, even if I don't know the people's names that they're thanking.
Right. No, it's perfectly said. This is the moment for the people who make the art that we get so obsessed with. That we get tattoos of and have all these heated conversations about. Like this is their moment, and we should give them the respect to let them have it.
Mm-hmm.
If they want to thank their grandma, I should be thankful that they are getting a chance to do so.
Well, and something that we don't consider too is that when Hollywood actors win awards and they give these speeches, they make them more entertaining because they're actors. You know what I mean? That is their job, to be entertaining. A lot of these people that make these games aren't necessarily in front of a camera all that often, and they may not be the best public speakers, and that's okay. But they should have the freedom to do whatever they're comfortable with because they earned it.
Yes.
I don't know.
All of the trailers that we're excited about, these people spend 5+ years making those games.
Mm-hmm.
We can spare 2 minutes for them to say thank you.
Yeah. I don't care if they want to thank their dog. They want to thank their great grandmother or whatever.
It seems the least we could do.
Right. And other than throw them another $5 in there for their game, right?
Right, of course. Yeah, buy a skin for $20.
All right, what's up next? Do we have another one? Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
That was all the comments we had.
What about Fierce here?
Oh, my bad.
Fierce 74. Yeah. Man, talk about disrespect.
Yeah.
Fierce 74 said, one cringe and head-scratching moment after another. Just read that Larry was intended to reveal Baldur on Xbox, but was so rushed, even by the teleprompter, that they forgot. Nothing about Enshrouded. I don't know what that is. Nothing about Nightingale. Nothing about Dragon's Dogma 2. Nothing about Dragon Age Dreadwolf. Nothing about mass layoffs throughout the industry. Just weird. Perhaps I needed to be there in person like the other gentlemen. Should have revolved around each category more. Not reveals. If they won't reveal more of what we want to see, I feel like it's kind of a waste of time. It distracts from the point of the awards, or part of the show awards. Well, I would counter with, they can't cater it to you. They can't cater it to me. If it were me, there would be like 4 trailers, because there's not a lot of games, that I know about that I'm excited about. It's like, it's just so they can't really do that. And Dragon Age sounds like it's never going to come out. So when will they never have an opportunity to show that. Although it would be funny if they show a trailer next year at the Game Awards for Dragon Age. It would be 10-year anniversary of them having one game of the year for Dragon Age 3. Show a trailer for Dragon Age 4.
Wait, Dragon Age 3 won Game of the Year?
Yeah, 2014.
Wow. I did not remember that.
It wasn't, it didn't have a lot of competition that year.
Oh, is that what it was? That's like I didn't remember that game being highly regarded, so I was kind of.
It certainly was at launch. But Furious. I'm not sure. I wasn't trying to pick on you. I'm just saying, like, they can't cater to our individual tastes. They can only show what people are making, and what people seem to be making are sci-fi shooters.
Yeah,
by the That's scores. True.
Well, let's get into some of the specifics. We're not going to read through every title. If you guys watched the Game Awards, you saw the same thing we did, but I thought we could talk about things that stood out to each of us, and there's just the two of us. So I want to start with I don't know what you call it, the opening act, the pre-show.
The pre-show, but then I don't understand the pre-show. Because they give it a little countdown timer in the corner that says like 30 minutes till the Game Awards.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, first of all, what am I watching? And then secondly, like, some of these trailers were for interesting games.
Right.
But by calling them the pre-show, I just feel like, I don't know, it seems a little...
They just didn't pay the higher tier.
Exactly. That's exactly right?
It has to be.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, I'm sorry. She may be a lovely person, but I just found that woman annoying. I just really did not like... I don't like her voice. I don't like what she was wearing.
Wow. I didn't like her attempts at humor. That was it for me. I don't know.
Well, and there's something to be said about somebody that can read a teleprompter without appearing like they're reading like a teleprompter, and she does not have that gift.
Yeah.
I mean, when again, I understand that these people aren't actors, but I don't know. Anyway, so let's talk with the reveals first, because yes, there were reveals and awards for both of this. I don't like why do some of these awards get mentioned in here? Are they not important? Like, I mean, I don't care about the esports and the content creator of the year personally, but you know what? No. I want to get into that. The content creator of the year wasn't even a person. The content creator was like an AI thing or I don't know.
I think it's they call it, we're old, so we're going to sound wrong. I think it is a VTuber where there is a person behind the character, but they play a character with an anime persona, and they also sound irritating as hell.
Mm-hmm.
You sound like a baby. What was that about?
It's so annoying, dude.
It was ear scratch. Like I wanted to cut my ear off. It's terrible.
I couldn't imagine watching somebody play games for an extended period of time with that voice. I just
I also can't imagine watching it where I'm just watching this weird cartoon character in the corner.
Yeah.
Like, it's already confusing enough to me. Again, I understand I'm old. I just don't get it. I don't understand them wanting to watch somebody play a game anyway.
I don't either. I just want to play it myself.
Yeah, especially in a live stream sort of way. Like, I'm all for reviews and video essays and stuff. But just watching somebody play a game, it's just bizarre to me.
Mm-hmm.
But I get it. That's something people are into. I don't understand why that would be appealing, but also with a cartoon personality somebody has made.
Right.
It's probably some 55-year-old dude.
I'm going to laugh if that ever happens. And what else? Innovation and accessibility. Apparently, that's not important enough to make it to the show.
Yeah, it seems. Yeah, it's been during the main show in past years. Just saying.
Mm-hmm. And Best Family Game did go to Super Mario Brothers Wonder. I was glad to see that game get some love.
It's nice to see Nintendo win the best Nintendo game category.
Yeah, right. There were some other non-Nintendo games in there, but all right. So let's talk about the reveals during this opening act world premieres.
Yeah, that was weird because I remember hearing Jeff Keighley in an interview beforehand saying that they were getting rid of the world premiere banning because it felt disrespectful to the other games. But here it was.
I don't remember that conversation.
He did, but I think he must have only just been meaning when they pop it up on the screen and it says world premiere.
Must have, 'cause I didn't see that.
Yeah, because that didn't happen. But you still introduce them as world premieres when you entered them on the stage, so
I don't understand why world premiere is disrespectful. It's the first time it's being publicly shown. That's all that means.
Right, but I think he was saying that it makes it sound. He's like it was obviously it was all BS, but in the interview he was talking about how it makes it feel like they're more important than the other games you're getting updates on when it's really not necessarily the case.
Right.
But he still said it, so I don't really understand. You just didn't have the graphic,
right?
And the deep voice. World premiere.
Right, well,
anyway,
I want to be that guy.
Yeah, that'd be a cool gig.
What stood out to you?
I mean, nothing. Truthfully, I mean, Metaphor looks kind of cool from the Persona team.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, it's like, I think I'd rather just play Persona. You know, I'm happy they're stretching their legs, but it just looks like Persona, but with knights.
Okay, yeah.
You know, and that's cool and all, but what appealed to me about Persona was how unique it is because it takes place in a modern setting, which is pretty rare for an RPG.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like a cool, interesting setting to just make it in the medieval, the standard JRPG setting. It just makes it a little less interesting to me.
I got you. I know what you mean. I've never played Pony Island, so funnily enough, the original Pony Island went on sale for 74 cents yesterday on Steam, and I was like, all right, I will try it, guys. I will try it. It's supposed to be super weird, but Pony Island 2 Panda Circus. It's the developer of Inscription, which was an interesting little game. So, why does A Tale of Two Sons need to be remade already? I really don't understand that one.
I don't know. What is it, 10 years? A little bit more?
Right. I mean, and sure, Last of Us 2 is only 3 years, so I get.
Well, that's a remaster that was standard before the modern era.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, back in the PS3, PS4 era, they only waited a year, if that, to remaster games.
Right.
I'm just saying.
I don't know. Like the game exists. You can play it now. Like I don't know.
Is it available on PS4 and Xbox One?
I would assume so. I can't say for certain.
Yeah, because it was a PS3 era game.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Either way, I don't know. The length of time doesn't surprise me for a remake, especially it looked to mostly just be a graphical, kind of upgrade.
Yeah.
The 1-to-1 remake. I just don't feel like it's a game that warrants it.
Right. It feels like a situation where they just want to bring it back because a lot of people maybe had not heard of this developer until It Takes Two and
A Way Out.
And A Way Out. You know what I mean? Like maybe this one got swept under the rug. Unfortunately, I think I love the game. I think Tale of Two Sons is a great game.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
But that control mechanics, I think, would be a big turnoff for a lot of people. That is an interesting game. It is a 2-player game that you play by yourself.
Right. Yeah. The left and right analog stick each control a character.
Right. Which I don't remember a game ever doing that, and I think it's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Yeah.
I thought it was cool that Dave the Diver and Dredge are getting a mashup. One game that I'm finally playing, and the other one that was on my list of games I missed this year. So I'm gonna have more content for Dave the Diver after I finish it, which is awesome.
Man, Dredge looks so cool.
I don't really even know what it is. It looks like fishing with the horror story, and I don't know why that is appealing to me.
But it sure is, right?
Yeah. Is it on Xbox? Or is it just a PC game?
I know it's on console, so I assume it's on Xbox.
feel like I'm going to have to play that one before the end of the year, too.
You got your fishing... you got to make sure you check off all the fishing games.
It's so weird that I'm into fishing games, man. Like, I actively avoid fishing side quests and stuff in games if I can. I hate them.
Yeah, I love fishing in video games as side quests.
I can't stand them. I did them in Final Fantasy 15 just to get the achievements, and it was like the most excruciatingly boring thing for me.
That wasn't the best fishing minigame. But it's like Yoko Taro always said, if you make a JRPG without a fishing minigame, have you really made a JRPG at all?
I gotta say, Harmonium, the musical, looks super sweet. It almost sounds like a bad joke when you say it's a musical about a child that doesn't hear.
Right.
Because she uses American Sign Language, but it looks like they're actually using that in a way that is very, very interesting and just very pretty. So
I think the idea of making a musical game for deaf people is beautiful.
I do too.
Absolutely.
The music sounds amazing. It's all subtitled and she's signing while she's doing it. It's pretty great. So, all right. So nothing else. So, Windblown from the creators of Dead Cells. It looks like another. I don't know. I perked up when I heard Dead Cells because I liked that game quite a bit.
I didn't think it was that good, so I wasn't interested in this.
Oh, you didn't like Dead Cells?
I did not.
Okay,
that's okay. Everybody else loves it. You know.
Yeah.
I'm not here to yuck anybody's yum.
No, I hear you. World of Goo 2 made me realize I never played World of Goo, and I need to go see what that game is about. It just looks like an awesome physics-based game.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a fun little Wii game.
Is that what it was on?
Yeah, that's what I remember it being on. But it was so nice because to place little dots to make your little constructions, you would just point at the screen.
Yeah,
it's pretty nice.
Gotta find a Wii. I gotta get my hands on one because I've still got Metroid Other M I want to replay through at some point.
I wonder how much a Wii costs.
It's got to be like $30 or something.
When I left GameStop in 2014 or so, we already wouldn't take them anymore because we had so many in backstock.
Uh-huh.
And some of the early units and stuff that we'd sell them for $20.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that's the case anymore with the retro market. Well, there was a time where you couldn't give these things away.
Well, I mean, they were everywhere, right?
Yes,
it was like
like
the hot thing for quite a while. That Wii Sports and all that.
Yeah, we had to give the classic. We can give you 1 penny for it and then recycle it for you. That's about what we could do.
Did you really? Would people do that?
I never saw anybody take us up on it. The closest
white Nintendo Wii system is about $50 right now.
Okay, that's actually not bad for a retro console in this day and age.
That's without the box and everything. That's
I guess it's not right. It'd be like it's 3 more years till it's retro, right? 2006.
Probably. May want to get a hold of one
before it turns retro.
Yeah.
The closest we had to recycling something for somebody was some guy brought a PS1 and stuff from his dad's garage when his dad died.
Yeah.
And he's like dropped all the stuff in the counter. He's like, "Hey, is this worth anything?" And I was like, "No, like we don't do PS1 stuff, man. There's I listed off a few game stores for me. He's like, "Can you just throw it away for me?" And I was like, "No." I was like, "I don't even know if we're allowed to." And he's like, "Well, it's yours now," and just walked away.
So what'd you do with it?
We all rummaged through it. There was a PS1 Black Label copy of Silent Hill in there that I took.
Oh, nice.
That was pretty cool. But yeah, we all just kind of divvied it up. We took it in the back off camera and divvied up the goods and pretended like we threw it away.
All right, so let's get into the main show. You want to start with the reveals first, or do you want to start with the awards first?
Oh, I guess let's talk about the awards first. How about that?
All right.
Give them some shine here.
We talked about the best performance with Christopher Judge up there. Went to Neil Newbon.
Yeah, for historian. I really was rooting for Yuri Lowenthal in this instance because Spider-Man 2, is a good game, of course, but I really thought Yuri as Spider-Man, especially with the symbiote stuff he was going through, was exceptional.
I still have yet to experience it. That's going to be my Christmas game to get through.
Is this some genuinely standout acting? Of course, I haven't played Baldur's Gate 3, so I can't speak to how good Astarion was.
I mean, I've only been with him for about a couple hours. You know what I mean? So the character that that he plays, but the little bit that I did see him, it's pretty great. Pretty great. Best narrative went to Alan Wake 2. I was not surprised by that at all.
I was a little surprised. Baldur's Gate 3 was right there.
Yeah. But I think Baldur's Gate 3 also is kind of, I haven't finished it. Kevin's probably going to yell at me when I say this, but I feel like Alan Wake 2 was just more unique.
Yeah, well, it certainly, absolutely was more unique.
Right. So, best debut indie game went to Cocoon. That is a game that I need to play. Isn't that like a 2-hour game or something?
I couldn't tell you.
Or maybe I'm mixing that one up. I've heard great. That game feels like one that's going to be on Grant Henry's Game of the Year list when he comes on our episode.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
We should all play it. Get prepped.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Best action game went to Armored Core 6: Fires of Rubicon. Another game I've not played.
Same.
I don't know. I don't know anything about that game. I've heard Jacob talk about it, and it sounds awesome, but it just sounds above my head for some reason.
Whenever I watch footage, it looks like I would get a headache, everything going on the screen.
Yeah, right?
There's so much happening.
We're so old.
Yeah.
God. Best art direction went to Alan Wake 2. And by the way, can we talk about, I was not expecting them to actually do that moment on stage.
Oh, the Herald of Darkness?
Oh, man.
Yeah, that was great. Of course.
That was so cool to see that live, and like he was
Close
actually
to
like
the
mouthing the
fall.
words and yeah.
Well, Matthew Peretta was singing off to the side, you know?
The one guy off the side was, but I'm talking about the guy that plays Alan Wake. Like,
oh, yeah.
He would,
Ilka Villi.
yeah.
Villa. Yeah.
And he just looked, that was Alan Wake. I mean, that was Alan Wake.
No, of course, it was great. Yeah, and Sam Lake looked like he was smiling ear to ear the whole time.
I know.
Good for him. Yeah, I mean, that whole thing was amazing. Seeing Warlord Door up there.
It was pretty awesome.
It was wonderful. But best art direction, yeah, I don't know. For me, I guess I haven't played anything but the demo, but just the demo of Lies of P alone, I was like, that looks like the best art.
Oh, really?
In the game to me, I think it looks stunning. Just the artisticness of it.
Yeah. Best VR AR game went to Resident Evil Village VR mode. All right.
I got nothing.
I don't either. Best mobile game went to Honkai Star Rail. I didn't even know what that was.
Honky Star Rail.
Best audio design went to Hi-Fi Rush. I was
Sure.
actually surprised that one did, but I'm not upset with that. It was a really clever game. Best game for impact went to Chia. That was a surprise to me.
I got a little bit of beef with this category. How is the Light in the Darkness not nominated? That game I played about the Holocaust?
I don't even remember that one.
Yeah, it was like a 2-hour free download. And it was just it was like to educate you about the Holocaust. It actually made you play as a Jewish family as you're slowly rounded up by the Nazis in France. It just it was pretty powerful. I was just very surprised it wouldn't be here.
Well, and there was a game that I can't remember the name of it, the one that Alyssa played that everyone was raving about. I was really expecting it to be that one. Chia was a cute game, but it felt just more about learning a culture than it was being impactful, which I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with learning about a culture. I felt like I learned a lot playing that game, but it wasn't impactful to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Whereas, yeah, I don't want to get on my soapbox. But the light in the darkness, it was the first time I ever saw footage of Nazi soldiers smiling. And it really like chilled me to my bone to think about like the horrific things they were doing, and yet they managed to also just be goofy human beings.
Oh yeah,
I don't know. That was pretty impactful to me, man. Like, I don't know.
No, that's interesting.
It should have had a I don't know if it should have won or not, but the fact it wasn't nominated, I thought was crazy.
Yeah, I have to go revisit that one. Where did you play that?
It's on everything for free,
like even Xbox and stuff.
Yeah, I played it on PlayStation, and yeah,
I'm gonna look into that.
I recommend it.
Best score in music went to Final Fantasy 16. I think that was deserved. I really liked the music in that game.
Sure, it's great.
Was that one nominated for Best Art Direction? Because I feel like that one kind of deserved it too.
Oh, I truthfully don't know.
Oh man, there were some gorgeous set pieces in that game. Best independent game went to Sea of Stars. Love to see that. That was really cool.
Absolutely. The correct game won that category.
Yeah. Best community support went to Baldur's Gate 3. Best fighting game went to Street Fighter 6. most anticipated game, which is such a weird award.
Category, yeah.
Like,
well, it's also just like you looked at the games that were nominated for most anticipated, and FF7 Rebirth was the closest one to release, so it's not surprising it would win.
Right. I would throw that one out, honestly. Like, that shouldn't be an award.
Yeah. That is just that award makes it clear that this is a marketing event first.
Yep. Best ongoing game goes to Cyberpunk 2077.
Inexcusable.
Why? Because of the Phantom Liberty DLC?
Dustin Furman, to give proper credit, of the podcast Sacred Symbols, put it best. Where if somebody comes into your house and takes a crap on your rug, you don't give them an award for cleaning it up.
Wow. Okay.
And that is what Cyberpunk's award is.
I see. I thought you were saying it was not good because it wasn't, like, when I think ongoing game, I think an online game.
Yeah, that is also weird to me because it doesn't feel like a game that's going to be having ongoing support forever. But also, they launched a game that was so fundamentally broken it was removed from storefronts.
Mm-hmm.
And so to give them an award for finishing it is weird.
Yeah. I mean, what they finished was pretty great, apparently.
Sure.
Allegedly. I haven't played it.
But that's not what this category is.
I'm with you. Best adaptation, your favorite category?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense here.
Went to The Last of Us. That was not a surprise at all.
Not at all. Neil Druckmann, by the way, looking a little Hollywooded up. Looking a little too clean. Yeah. He doesn't look like a game developer anymore.
Well, he's probably not, he's probably not in the trenches anymore. He's probably just at board meetings and stuff, right?
Yeah, he's probably just swinging by the studio and being like, no, Ellie needs to be sadder.
Right.
Just leaves.
Best action adventure game went to The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I was genuinely surprised by that, honestly.
Yeah.
I know
They
people
had
liked
to get
it.
an award somewhere.
Yeah, right. Best RPG went to Baldur's Gate 3. Best sim strategy game went to Pikmin 4. Best sports racing game went to Forza Motorsport. I feel like that is just like every year.
Yes,
it goes to Forza.
Absolutely.
Best multiplayer, Baldur's Gate 3. Player's voice? Is that just like everybody voted?
I think that is the one category that is entirely dependent on fan vote, yeah.
Yeah. Baldur's Gate 3. Best game direction went to Alan Wake 2 and then the game of the year.
That's the category I wanted Alan Wake 2 to win more than any other. So glad.
Yeah. I don't think anything else topped it in terms of direction. And then game of the year obviously went to Baldur's Gate 3. So
which I'm sure is earned, but I have not played it.
Well, if it's got cross-play, I don't know, I would say I would love to play it with you because Kevin wants me to play it with him as well.
It feels like a game I absolutely do not want to play in co-op at all.
Oh, really?
So I think I would turn you down.
I gotcha. I can get that because it's a turn-based game. You're just kind of sitting and watching.
Well, more also because it's so narrative focused.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if you get with the right group, well, with it being narrative focused, though, only the lead person is going to be making the choices, the dialogue choices and stuff.
It just feels like a weird co-op game to me. I'm happy for people that enjoy it, but it's just for a game that it seems to mostly be about talking. A co-op is just kind of a weird thing to have.
I think that the battles or the encounters, is that the right word for D&D?
I don't know. You're the D&D guy.
Well, I'm only recently got into D&D, and to be able to actually do that electronically instead of like doing everything like with physical dice rolls and moving figures and stuff, you actually see these things actually play out is pretty cool. Being able to equip a spell that I'm using in my D&D campaign and see it actually being executed on screen is pretty rad.
I understand.
So, all right. So that was the awards. Let's go to the world premieres. What's the first thing that stood out to you from these world premieres?
That stood out to me. Yeah, well, seeing gameplay for Senua's Saga was nice.
Yeah.
That it wasn't just Hellblade 2, that it wasn't just another cutscene.
Right. What is up with that? That game looks so good, man. Holy cow.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it looks straight up like the most beautiful game I've ever seen, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
It looks absolutely breathtaking, but also it's just all of the weird unrolling of this game. I don't understand at all.
Yeah.
Just showing a cutscene every year and then just making us wait. You know, because it's not like the first Hellblade was a huge, blockbuster success. So the sequel doesn't really have the energy to be, teasing us like this. It's just kind of a weird rollout.
Well, and wasn't this supposed to be released like as a release title for the console? Like
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised.
Like what's the holdup? I'm not complaining because there's plenty to play. I just don't understand. Like, what is taking this game so long?
Yeah, they must be taking their time over at Ninja Theory.
Yeah, which like I said, I'm fine with that. Take your time.
Yeah, I think they're a small studio, so by other AAA standards. So I guess they're just taking their time. It's just, to me, it's just you don't need to show it every year. Just show it the one time, and then say you'll see it when we're ready to launch, basically.
Right.
But the weird nonsense cutscenes annually is not doing anything for me.
Right.
But so therefore, it was nice to actually see the game in seemingly in action.
Mm-hmm. I geeked out for a minute when I saw Kratos on the screen, and I thought they were going to be revealing God of War 3
already.
And, yeah, I was like, oh, that's a pretty cool. It was so early in the cycle of the reveals. I was like, oh, this is awesome, and now it's just DLC for Ragnarok.
Oh, it is cool that it's free.
Yeah.
Jim Ryan's mad, man.
Why?
So he's giving away something free to a PlayStation fan? That doesn't sit well with Jim Ryan.
I don't remember. Is that the guy that stands at a podium with glasses?
No, it's that's the president of PlayStation.
Oh. What am I thinking of?
Yeah, man, come on. I thought you were on a video game podcast.
I know, dude. I'm having a brain fart.
Yes, but PlayStation, they like to nickel and dime everybody, so I'm sure it's a good thing he's retiring. Otherwise he wouldn't have let this one slip past the goalie.
There you go.
But I was waiting. I thought it was gonna be like a spin-off game, like a Miles Morales style game, like about Kratos going back to Greece because of the music and the enemies. I was like, hell yeah! But then it was a DLC for Valhalla or Ragnarok, which I still have to play. I do think Exodus looked interesting, but or just the team behind it sounded interesting because there's a lot of BioWare people.
Mm-hmm.
So and it looks like an expensive new sci-fi franchise in the vein of Mass Effect, so that sounds interesting, but as a CGI trailer, so it meant nothing.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know what that game is at this point. Yeah. And
but the actual website made it sound cool.
What's funny is I could hear you like internally screaming when Matthew McConaughey popped up on the screen.
Dude, you should have. My reaction when it went from Hollywood celebrity shilling to CGI trailer that doesn't show you a game, I was like, it's the Game Awards. Yep, we're back.
I was intrigued by this. They call it 5 new games from Sega, although they just look like redone versions of Streets of Rage, Crazy Taxi, Shinobi, Golden Axe. I can't remember what the other one was.
Jet Set Radio.
Thank you. I don't know. I thought that they looked, just the little glimpses that we got made them look pretty cool. And I actually really liked the little ad thing that they did where it was like 2 people playing Sonic on their couch and the power goes out, and
very traditional Sega energy.
Yeah, and he even did the Sega thing at the end, which is pretty awesome.
This is probably the most excited I got. Just because
so sad. I mean, this is awesome, but
it was sad just because it's like, it's just old stuff coming back. But to me, it was like the promise of the Dreamcast all over again.
Mm-hmm.
It's time. It's time for these games to come back. I'm worried it's all going to tie into that weird super game thing they keep talking about. Whatever super that game means. That's what Sega said. They're trying to make a $1 billion super game. So I'm worried that these are all somehow. They talked. I don't know. They talked openly about it. I don't know what to tell you, but I'm worried that these will somehow be connected to that. But hopefully not. But as it stands, new Crazy Taxi. The Golden Axe footage looked really fun. The Shinobi looked very interesting. Yeah, there's something that all looked pretty good, man.
Yeah.
And as a Dreamcast fan, as I suppose we all are, I was just very excited.
Mm-hmm.
And they said and more.
Yeah, it's just 5 releasing at first, and they're going to keep adding other ones.
Yeah.
So I imagine Sega fans are getting really stoked about that.
It'd be cool. It'd be also like a virtual Dreamcast app, and just had all these games on there. You could buy them $20-$30 a pop or something. That would be beautiful.
Yeah.
No Rest for the Wicked. It did catch my eye. From Moon Studios, the developers of Ori.
Mm-hmm.
It's like because the vibe, it was very like dark fantasy medieval kind of style, but also a lot of pirate energy in there.
Yeah.
It's a very unique vibe, and I think the name No Rest for the Wicked is super cool. But the actual gameplay just kind of looked like standard isometric action RPG. But the fact that they announced a brand new IP and also showed off gameplay footage of it at the same time, that's worth applauding.
Exactly, it doesn't happen anymore.
But I really like the energy of the trailer. Just kind of dour atmosphere. A lot less bright than Ori, which of course was itself kind of a sad series. But this looked almost hopeless in a way that I could really get behind.
Right.
But I like the fusion of medieval and pirating. That was kind of a unique take.
We got to talk about OD. Although I don't know why we spent so much time on this, and we got basically no information about what this game is, other than the girl from It is in it.
Is that who that was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's also in Dungeons and Dragons, which I think is what they were.
Oh, I didn't see that either. I've managed to dodge this woman's entire career.
But yeah, her, and then I don't know who the other actor was, but it's just like them talking at a screen saying a bunch of stuff that made zero sense.
Right. It was a very Hideo Kojima teaser.
Right. And they said it's like a game and a movie, but also a new type of media. What does that mean? I don't know. I feel like that's what he said about Death Stranding. Like it's just a completely different experience, and
he was right. It was.
He was, but not like a revelatory new thing for the genre, for the industry.
I don't know, man. I have never played a game like Death Stranding before Death Stranding.
Yeah. And also Jordan Peele is involved. I don't know. I don't.
Well, I love that Jordan Peele was like putting respect on Kojima. Talking about how he changed the game, Metal Gear Solid and stuff.
Metal Gear Solid 2.
Metal Gear Solid 2. Hey, man, hell of a game.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked learning that Jordan Peele kind of wanted to make video games because after I saw the movie Us, I thought or my review was that it sounded like Us felt like a PS2 horror game to me.
Oh, I've not seen it.
And so it was nice to see. I felt a little justified by hearing Jordan Peele talk about how he wanted to make games growing up. But it was so funny that he was like talking about Kojima being the GOAT, putting respect on him. He's a legend. And then Kojima was like, hey, and just so you know, I'm not just working with Jordan Peele. I got other people too. It was so mean.
Yeah.
Jordan Peele's like, Kojima's a legend. Kojima's like, hey, I got other directors I'm working with too. It's not just this guy.
I love that Jordan Peele's fallback was to make Hollywood blockbuster films. Yeah. Like it didn't work out for video games, so he just did like a highly lucrative career choice instead. Like,
it's funny. But it's kind of it's cute. They're getting to help each other out, make their dreams come true. How nice. Yeah.
I just don't understand what the involvement is. Like, I don't understand Matthew McConaughey's involvement.
And it somehow uses Xbox's cloud computing power to make the game a reality.
They made a big deal about that. They said that multiple times.
Yeah, so I don't. What the hell does that mean? Does it mean that means it's different Hollywood actors can just stream in live to the game via the cloud to do so they can read weird dialogue?
What Hollywood actor would do that?
I don't know.
Why would they do that? Just like randomly.
You got a free like hour in your afternoon, so Jason Bateman just pops into OD.
I guess.
I don't.
But it's like a digital recreation, like
yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's very weird.
I don't know. I have so many more questions, and we knew this was happening, right? We knew that he was doing something with Xbox. Yes. We knew that it was going to be weird because we saw weren't there some like game over screens or something that leaked a while back, and it said a Kojima production, whatever.
Oh, I don't remember.
I feel like that was last summer, or not last summer, but the summer before. But
I remember Kojima's letter of intent to Xbox or whatever it was.
Yeah,
that was funny.
It is kind of crazy that he's basically switched sides at this point.
Well, he's doing both sides simultaneously.
Yeah,
right? Death Stranding 2 and OD coming out. I mean, the man's a straight up mercenary.
I mean, why not? He's one of the most recognizable names in the industry.
Ray's one of the few people who could do this.
Yeah, he could get away with that. Why not make that money, man?
Absolutely.
Rocket Racing from the Psyonix guys that did Rocket League is making a racing game, but it's only in Fortnite. What is going on with Fortnite, man?
It's chasing that Roblox money.
Apparently, dude. I mean, they've got like a whole Minecraft thing now that's Lego based.
Yeah, like Lego Fortnite. Yeah.
There's like going to be like I think Harmonix is making a Guitar Hero style thing inside
I think it's already
Fortnite.
out, right?
Yeah.
Music festival.
So it's just crazy to me that Fortnite is becoming a subgenre. Like
Right.
there's going to be
It's a game engine, much like Roblox. They too can soon profit off the works of children.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Crazy. But like, I don't know. Like, it's weird that we live in a world where if I want to play a racing game, I'm going to do it inside Fortnite.
Yeah. That's the world. That's the future they want, right? The metaverse.
Yeah. That's very, very strange.
This is another thing where I'm too old for this.
Yeah.
This actually turns me off of Fortnite. I don't know. This new future scares me.
Little bit. We're gonna be the old guys at the nursing home that are like, man, I just used to play single player games, and
yeah, back in my day, you would just pop in Prince of Persia, and then 10 hours later, you'd play a different game.
Yeah.
But now the next Prince of Persia will be in Fortnite.
That's good.
It is weird to think that Psyonix, like, this is their first game since Rocket League, and it's a Fortnite game.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That is very crazy. Like, are they going to have... I mean, it's in Fortnite, so they're going to have success. But yeah, you're right. This feels like a very Roblox move, where they've just got games within games.
Yeah, definitely. But I think it's smart that they recruited, higher end developers to show off what you can do first, and then that way, the youths out there can get in their little game development sweatshops and make the games themselves afterwards.
I wonder how long this Fortnite thing is gonna last. Like,
I mean, it's more popular than ever.
I know, but I mean, like, it's gonna have to die out at some point. Even if it's like 40, 50 years, right? It's got to have an expiration date on it.
Yeah.
And I'm really curious to talk to those kids when they're adults and be like, so did you really like it, or was it just because it was popular and you had to be, FOMO?
I don't think it does have to die. Coca-Cola didn't die.
Yeah. I mean, if they keep changing stuff like this, I guess maybe.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, if they change with the times constantly like that, I think they have a chance.
Just think of what Fortnite was when it started. Like, it wasn't even like Fortnite, the Battle Royale. It was just like, weren't you just like building forts to defend? Like, it was more like a tower defense.
I would say it's like a horde mode.
Yeah. Like, that's what the game was to start out with, and look what it's become. It's just absolutely insane.
Thank God PUBG came out. It was a sensation. That way Epic ripped them off and knocked out that Battle Royale.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so really worked out.
So they showed more about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which I feel like I don't need to see any more of that game. I'm going to play it. Like, it's just...
yeah, of course, yeah.
But the thing that drove me crazy is they're doing a crossover with Apex Legends. So there's Final Fantasy VII Rebirth characters, and that does not make any sense to me whatsoever.
Dude, they've given up on making sense. When the Nier character showed up in PUBG, I knew, Square Enix obviously doesn't have any concern at all.
Yeah.
About how their brands are represented. Dude, all this crossover stuff, again, I'm too old, right? Like, it's just...
We are.
It makes sense in Fortnite because Fortnite feels like a toy box.
Right.
It doesn't feel like a real thing. But seeing a Buster Sword in the middle of like this sci-fi shooter, it's weird.
I agree.
Seeing Nicki Minaj in the store of Call of Duty alongside Spawn, it's weird.
Yeah.
I just can't get behind it.
Yeah.
And it ruins like any... Like Rainbow Six Siege was incredible because it was a slow-paced tactical game. You're basically playing as SWAT soldiers, and then slowly they've like given you back bling and stuff. And I'm like, it just ruins the illusion of what you're playing to me.
Right. If we're going for realism, stop fighting against it. You know what I mean? Stop making it worse.
You can't have Spawn in Call of Duty. It's just not. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Or Nicki Minaj's butt.
Did we know that Marvel Blade was a thing from Arcane? I thought we knew that already. Or
wasn't officially now. It was one of those things, especially like in the last week, everybody was kind of just openly talking about it.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah, so it was a very poorly kept secret.
And
but
again,
the fact that you know what I really respected? That they told me it was third person right away.
Yeah.
I really liked it. Because that Indiana Jones game, we still don't know, because it's coming from the Wolfenstein team.
That's going to be first person.
That would be devastating. What is the point
I
of
know,
having
right?
an Indiana Jones game in first person where you can't even see his fedora?
Yeah. I
It
mean,
make no sense.
any sense.
But the Blade game, sure. Yeah, let's just have every studio make licensed games now. That's fine.
I'm tired of hearing games getting revealed without showing anything. You know, that's awesome that it's happening. I'm not interested in a title card and the actor that's playing him.
Blade in France sounds cool, sure.
Yeah.
But, it would sound cool if it was a story arc too, like a comic arc too. Like, what is the game? Am I just teleporting around like Corvo from Dishonored? What am I doing? You're right. Or like the Black Panther game.
Yeah, like we don't know what any of this stuff is. I'm tired of being told stuff and then not seeing anything.
I guess, you know what? I guess Black Panther didn't have the audacity to try to show a CGI trailer. They just said they're working on it. And you know what? That's great.
Yeah,
just do
exactly.
that.
Just do that. Were you happy to hear that Twisted Metal is getting a second season on Peacock?
I am actually. Twisted Metal season 1 was surprisingly solid, and the way it ends really made me want to see season 2.
Awesome. I need to finish that. I never did. But I really liked it. I just didn't finish it.
Let's just say they might actually, adapt Twisted Metal for season 2.
Oh, nice. Really?
It might be a tournament or two.
Ooh, I'm intrigued.
Cool.
I'm intrigued.
If I might back up a second, this Black Myth Wukong game looks, as even though I'm made fun of before the show that there's a new Souls like every single week. This Black Myth Wukong looks pretty good.
Go ahead.
Just the Journey to the West one, where you're playing as a Monkey King.
I remember. Is this the one that looked very much like what's that other Souls like? That oh my goodness! Like you said, there's so many of them. I can't keep track of them.
Yeah, they blend together absolutely.
The one where I remember like that you character being able to perch on top of houses and stuff.
Sekiro,
yeah. Is this one that looks like Sekiro?
It does look a little like Sekiro, yeah.
Okay, yeah,
it looks cool, but I don't know. I wonder by August 20th, will I have just played so many Souls like that I can't take another one?
Right.
I don't know, but I just want to acknowledge. I think it looks cool. I think Journey to the West is a very cool, myth or fable to base stories off of. And, Enslaved was a great game.
Oh man, I got that recently on Steam. That game still looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. I'm trying to see what else. There was a game that stood out to me that I didn't think was going to, and I'm gonna have to remember what it is. But so they showed more Fallout, the series.
Sure.
I'm really amped for that.
Was it Light No Fire? Are you getting soaked for Light No Fire?
No, dude. I don't know that. I mean, I appreciate they're doing something like a completely different universe, I suppose, but like instead of it being like all these planets that you can go to, it's just like one massive world that you know. But again, I'm also just kind of assuming that they're overpromising.
Yeah. It's hard to say, Sean Murray, relax. Just say simpler things.
Right.
You just earn back everybody's goodwill.
Yeah. So I'm not much there. What is the title is escaping me. It was a Geargate. It looked like a Geargated game, but it was very culturally significant. Like it felt like it was.
Oh yes, the Tales of Kinzera Zhao.
Yeah, that game looks
from the
awesome.
I can't remember his name, but the Bayek's actor from Assassin's Creed Origins started his own little studio.
Yeah, that game looks rad, dude.
It looks like a Scott Clark product.
It does. It's a lot of those going around right now.
Well, sure, no shortage of 2D Geargated games, but I think it looked cool. It was just, and you know what? Hey, it showed off some gameplay.
Yeah, absolutely.
It looks a little like the new Prince of Persia.
Man, the more I see that game, the more I really want to play that one.
Well, I know. Obviously, I'm already there.
Yeah.
Got that bad boy pre-ordered. It's got Prince of Persia right in the title.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do?
I got to be honest. There's not a whole lot more that's really standing out to me here in the list. Alan Wake 2 DLC it was announced during the award, right?
I think it's just kind of a patch, right? It's just a new game plus mode, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had to they had to shout it off as they were getting dragged from the mic. Yeah, that it was coming. Apparently, it's got a new ending though.
Intrigued. So
I don't know if I'm intrigued enough to play the 30-hour Alan Wake all over again just yet.
Dude, I'm the same boat. I was ready for that game to be done.
Oh, I thought I liked the length of it. It was just, and then to get the ending you get in Alan Wake 2, which we agreed is not very good, to then be like, but here's the actual good one, is kind of weird.
Like let me play the last chapter.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, or like Nier has the different endings on New Game Plus, but it also only makes you play like the last 5 hours again.
Right. Yeah.
So it's just
what was
there's better ways to do it.
What was the finals? I don't remember what that was.
Multiplayer shooter.
Oh, that's why.
With a huge focus on destructible environments.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I see. We skipped over the 14 sci-fi shooters they announced here.
I mean, go for it. Is it?
No, there's none where they all looked the same to me.
Yeah,
I'm sure they all have differences that I'm not aware of. I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just saying they all blended together by the end.
Yeah, I'm with you.
The first Descendant stuck out because the girl had a nice butt. That's all I remember. So I'm a pervert, I guess.
Yeah.
And then the big final trailer, Monster Hunter Wilds, does nothing for you or I, but I'm sure people everywhere went crazy.
Yeah, I know. I texted it to Jacob. He's a massive fan, and he was, creaming his pants. But I'm happy for him. I just wish I liked that series better.
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy for all the Monster Hunter fans out there. I know people at my job. People are playing that Monster Hunter mobile game like crazy. The Pokemon Go style one.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, I mean, that's a small sample size. I admit, but it seems like people do love Monster Hunter.
Oh man, it's just, and I wish I could understand what it is. I'm not knocking them. I just don't. I don't know. I don't know what the appeal is.
Yeah, I haven't played one really since maybe the first one on PSP.
Wow.
So I'm probably, I don't know if I have an informed opinion, but I didn't remember liking it. I remember a lot of loading screens and uninteresting fights.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it's different now or something.
Well, that was our topic. Next week, I have to I have an idea of a topic. We're going to talk about story content in games that is hidden behind either DLC or like you have to play multiple playthroughs in order to get it. We're going to talk about like hidden story content in games. I think it's going to be an interesting.
You trying to take a shot at Nier right now? That's what you're trying to do?
No. Actually, this was an idea by Kevin. Actually, okay. So I will formulate that and post it in the socials this week. So stay tuned for that. But that's going to do it for this episode of The Gaming Outsider. Thanks so much for checking us out. We do appreciate it. This episode was produced by Kevin Honigford, and all the music you hear is written and performed by Grant Henry of Stemmage and Metroid Metal. His website is stemmagemusic.com. Please be sure to email us if you have any questions or concerns. Our address is feedback@thegamingoutsider.com. Zach, any parting words or recommendations for our listeners before we get out of here?
If you have Peacock, you have to check out Mr. Monk's Last Case.
Okay.
It's a Monk movie. If you were a fan of the TV show back in the day.
I appreciated it. I did not watch it. That's one on my list that I would love to go back and watch.
Yeah, I just rewatched all of it last year or earlier this year. Timelines are fuzzy, but Monk holds up. Great show. The movie was excellent. The movie it's surprisingly heartfelt even. And a lot of discussions of suicide as well.
Oh, really?
It's just a genuinely good movie. It gives you a little taste of what all the characters are up to and all that stuff, but mostly it's about solving a murder as it should be. And it was just really, really good. No surprise. Great even.
How many seasons of that show were there?
8.
Oh, wow.
I think there's only 13 a season or something like that.
That's much easier.
Yeah.
I may have to add that one to my list. That and Justified are two that I really need to watch.
Justified, man, it's so good. Gotta watch it.
I got
you gotta see where all the Walton Goggins hype was born.
Yeah, right. I've got an old recommendation. You already probably know what I'm going to talk about, Zach, because we talked about it off air. But I decided to reread a book that I read when I was a kid. So it's one of my favorite books of all time, Ender's Game by Orson Scott Card. Decided to go revisit it. It's probably like the fourth time I've read it or listened to it. I read it when I was a kid and then listened to it. It's really like the book. And I don't know, this time around it is hitting me in different ways. Just the psychology behind it, and I have some issues with the ending, not the twist. The twist is great,
of course, yeah.
But the way it all kind of goes out after that, I have some issues with. But the lead up is just fantastic. It is so good. How much they mess with his head, and just the psychology of his relationships with his brother and his sister, and the things that they're doing while he's off in training. If you've not read the book, it is about a boy named Andrew Wiggin. They call him Ender, who is they made a movie about it actually with was it Asa Butterfield
and Harrison Ford, yeah.
And Harrison Ford, yeah. And he gets sent off to like military school to train to be a commander because he's a kid genius. In the book, he goes there when he's like 6 years old, and by the time the end of the book, I think he is 12. I think by the time the final thing happens, which again I'm trying to dodge it for a 25, 30-year-old book at this point. But
yeah, I think it came out in the mid-'80s, right?
Yeah. So really, really good. I feel like I'm looking at it from a completely different perspective now, especially being a teacher. I'm kind of like picking up things about being a leader, what good leaders do, what bad leaders do, and so it's hit me a little bit different. So, and also I started watching the movie and just totally forgot that they completely missed the mark of that movie. The only really good thing they did is they changed the name of the aliens from buggers to formics. I always thought buggers was just a terrible name for.
They're both bad.
They're both bad, but formics at least sounds cooler.
Did you finish the movie when you rewatched it?
No, I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I fell asleep. I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch it. But
how did they miss the mark? Just the tone of it?
Just the tone. Yeah, the tone feels very. They're not doing the psychology. It's all about. It felt more about just the battles and making the spectacle of the battles, and then obviously the twist, which I don't remember how they handled the twist, but it wasn't a twist for me because I knew it was coming, so it wasn't as impactful. I would be curious to hear somebody that has never read the book and watched the movie for the first time to see how that came across. It was impactful because in the book, when I read it in the book the first time, I was like, no way. It was pretty awesome. So
yeah, I never saw the movie.
I don't know if I can recommend it, but if you do watch it, at least read the book first again, or reread the book.
Yeah.
And then jump right into it and see what you think, because it's.
I think I was telling you, I don't think I've read it since like middle school.
Oh yeah, I read it in high school for the first time. So anyway, go check it out. Ender's Game by Orson Scott Card. It's actually, he's got a couple other ones. Ender's Shadow, which is the same story of Ender's Game, but told from the perspective of one of his subordinates. It was really good. I read Shadow of the Hegemon. I remember that one being more politics, and I didn't like it as much. Anytime it was anything but, where it was not Ender, I was not as interested. So I think I'm going to reread Shadow of the Ender's Shadow. I think I'm going to read that next because it's been a minute. So, all right. Well, Zach, dude, this is a blast, man. Thanks for meeting up with me once again.
Of course, man.
Haven't got a chance to do an episode, just the two of us, in quite a while. So this was great.
Yeah, always happy to do it.
But yeah, we miss Alyssa and CB for sure. Well, hopefully we'll all four of us be able to get together again next week. So with that said, until next week, I'm Scott Clark with Zach Parkerson, and we are the Gaming Outsider. And remember, there's no such thing as a bad game, just games that aren't for you.